Yeah, excuse me. Guess what IEEE stands for?
What? I don't know. International Electrical Engineering Enterprise.
Guess what IEEE stands for?
I don't know. Institute of E-Dating and E-Relationships?
Guess what IEEE stands for?
IEEE. I stands for idiot. Ooh. Electronics engineering E. Is that good enough?
Guess what IEEE stands for?
Interclub Esports entry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Interclub Esports. Watch Interclub Esports.
Yeah, watch IEEE swing the competition.
Yeah, ready?
Thank you guys.
Will you marry me?
Of course.
Stop filming me! Don't record me! Don't record me! Go.
Inside my vehicle, I can drive wherever. Let's go. Your smile is my antidote.
Sweet home Alabama.
By my side. Keep all the force that you missed.
Alrighty, welcome back to day one of the Interclub Esports Championships. Before we get into our next game, just a couple quick words. In the morning, we watched some AXA take out Devs from the competition in a pretty deciding one-game victory, and then Tanza come in after that and take AXA out of the competition. So we'll be watching them tomorrow in the semi-finals onwards.
Yep.
Right now, we're waiting for CISA and AUSS to set up and get all ready. Hope you all had a great break. I had some nice food. And speaking of food, I'd like to thank our sponsor again. We have Indomie here. Do you want to grab one as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cheap, very nice noodles.
Everyone's favorite noodle
Everyone's
brand.
favorite. Beautiful for uni students on a little bit of a budget. Yeah, again, thank you for sponsoring this event. Couldn't have done it without you. is
So we'll get
we'll get
into
into draft soon. and-
Game 3 draft for SESA and AUSS.
Yes, sir. Do you have any thoughts coming into this?
Yeah, well, I was just about to talk about Riven, but it seems that SESA has already banned out the Riven, and AUSS has banned out the Rengar. And SESA looking at to ban out the Galio. Of course, we've seen the presence of Galio so far as 100% in all 3 matches. Of course, in the first match, Galio was picked up almost instantly. The second game, Galio was banned out against AXA almost instantly, because AXA, I think, Tanza saw the AXA play Galio and saw, the value in that pick. So, of course, they banned out Galio. Now AUSS also looks to ban out Silas. So, SCSA with the final ban before we go into picking phase. I do really like the Silas ban, though, because when looking at the champ pools, there has potential for stuff like, there's potential for stuff like Ornn, there's potential for stuff like Malphite, stuff that brings a lot of value for Silas into his game. So I really do like the Silas ban. Of course, Sona ban being hovered by SCSA, AUSS support, budget Pokemon. She does like to play a bit of Sona, so I think the Sona ban is completely good.
Yep. Olaf as well coming out is a bit of an unexpected one. Don't see too many Olaf games, but definitely quite a problem of a champion, especially if he does get ahead. Definitely very sticky onto the
carries.
Yeah, definitely. We will into the picks. Sisa, not sure what they could go for here. Could be do have some problems. Could be a jungle first pick. Blind, they do have some good options there. Vi, there's
But it looks to be a first pick Lux.
A Lux. Could be in the mid lane, could be in the support.
Yep.
Nice little flex pick here, leaving a lot of options open for AUSS to answer. Again, like we said, on the side of AUSS, their support does play a lot of Enchanter, so we might be looking towards a hyper carry ADC type comp, especially with a strong front to back. Like Galio's gone now, but definitely could see maybe some Xin Zhao come out, something like that. Yeah, a Tristana is
I said earlier today, I want to see those.
Ooh, a Smolder.
Yep. So I want to see those comfort picks, right? I want to see those ego picks. I don't want this to be like pro play, I want to see Pikes, I want to see Yasuo. I want to see the Zed and. I just got trolled by ASS. Shaco Cook referenced to game 1, Shaco.
Of course.
Of course, it didn't work out as well as we thought. I think we were just doing a little bit of trolling here from AUSS, but it does look to be the support pick, which would be correct, picking bot lane as a role together.
Smolder Milia, so definitely looking to hyperscale, hyper carry here. Hopefully dragging it out into a longer game. We get to see the Smolder 225 stack, looking for those executes, looking for the big numbers. But of course,
when it's a Lux into, something like Emilio, there is that one-shot potential on Emilio or the Smolder, assuming that Lux does go bot lane. Yes. So, there's some very interesting flex options here.
I mean, it is also once you get past level 6, that Lux kill potential does go down quite a bit, especially with that Milio cleanse AoE onto both of them.
I think SCSA should pick
a Lee Sin pick coming through. It's very interesting. We're about to see some good combos. I mean, I'm not the master of Lee Sin here, but he does seem pretty weak in this meta, no?
No, I think he's been good, but he did get hit by quite a big nerf recently, so we haven't seen the full effects of the changes yet, but I'm excited to see throughout the weeks, and I'm excited to see him play this game. I think it's right for SCSA to pick an ADC here in response to the Smolder, but like I said, I wanted ego picks, and we got Yasuo. I'm happy about that. I'm not mad at all. And I think AUSS picking a mid laner here would be great, because with the 2 bans remaining, SCSA could potentially look to ban out the mid laner who doesn't have the biggest pool, and he already had his Galio banned out.
Yes, sir. Especially into Yasuo, there's quite a few matchups here that he can counterpick quite well. A Jarvan 4 coming through.
Yeah, we saw Jarvan in game 2 as well. He was very influential. Unfortunately, they didn't have the damage to pull through for game 2, but of course Jarvan always bringing infinite value. See, we see a Malphite ban coming across. I'm not too sure the direction that AUSS has. Do they not have a response for a Malphite? Because I think Trundle's still up. Camille's still up. There's a lot of picks that they could have picked in response to Malphite, but they do choose to ban the Malphite out. I guess it is always better playing it out safe,
especially just because of the Yasuo as well. But even then, I don't think it's too much of a problem. Especially there is a lot of ways to play around it. The Vladimir ban coming through for the mid lane.
So like I said earlier, just trying to ban out that. Ninjas, the AUSS mid laners, small champion for the mid lane.
Yeah, and a Misfortune coming out in the bot lane. Interesting bans.
So the ADC doesn't have the biggest champion either. He typically plays Misfortune, Jinx, Nyla in the bot lane, and of course, Misfortune being banned out does make his options small to Jinx and Nyla. And of course, Nyla isn't the most playable with a Lux support, nor into considering when you have no range in the team apart from a Lux. So I think a Jinx angle would be really good here.
Considering they're banning out the mids, we might see an Acel ban come through, even though I don't
Mhm.
think it's too good into this team. Ooh, and Orianna,
Yeah.
especially on the Acel comfort, especially if you're playing with the Smolder already, both of your bot side is giga scaling. That's a little bit rough to play in the early game.
So Rumble was locked in. I think an AP champion to match the Rumble would be nice, considering there is an AD mid laner and a jungle already, and there's a ADC soon to be picked. So I think picking ADC and then a AP top lane would be right here. I think there's a lot of options. I think the top laner does like to play something like Cho'Gath. I would like to see a Cho'Gath pick. I think that'd be great, but again, just quite hard to pick for here.
Mordekaiser AP as well, yeah.
He's hovering Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser does get
is
picked
locked
there.
in. Very interesting. It is a possibility to take away that
Mhm.
front line, especially with that Jarvan EQ in.
Yep.
If he gets ulted out, then it becomes a lot harder all of a sudden for Smolder and Lilio to play around. Especially with this Lee Sin, especially with this Yasuo.
Mhm.
If he lands a good kick, then I don't know, that Smolder looking very dangerous here. Yeah.
It feels like SCSC currently just lacks a lot of range. In terms of
definitely.
how are they ever going to really be able to jump on a Smolder, right? But
Even with a Lucian pick,
Mm.
again, not a lot of range here.
yeah,
It
and
is-
even with Lucian, he's someone that's pretty dependent on having an enchanter. With the changes that they made to his W and a passive, a couple years back, he needs the enchanter. And then if he doesn't have that aspect, he does lack sometimes. And it's just Lux W. It doesn't have that permanent upkeep
Yeah.
throughout a team fight,
Same
nor in
with, same
trades.
with the Lux Q as well. It's a very situational ability. If it doesn't land, then
Mm.
that passive isn't hitting very well. Yeah. And an Ambessa coming out last, probably an Ambessa mid here into the
It could be a Rumble flex into Yasuo and Bessa flex into Mordekaiser. I think we'll have to see once we get into game first. But it's an interesting draft from SCSA. I'm personally not the biggest fan. I do like the AUSS draft. I think if they just sit back and let Smolder scale, I think it's a really nice
Especially
winning
with that
draft. for
Jarvan ult
AUSS.
into Equalizer is going to be a
Yep.
lot of potential damage coming through on that
Mhm.
side as well.
And I think now before we get into game, we'll pass it over to the interview.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning back into Interclub Esports Championship 2025. Who are we here with today?
Uja from CISA.
Uja from CISA
Oh, Brendan from AUSS.
Brandon from AUSS. Now, before we start the interview, I just wanted to ask, what's your guys' favorite Indomie flavor?
It's gotta be spicy.
It's got to be barbecue chicken.
Spicy and barbecue chicken. All right. So, after taking a look at the drafts, what do you guys feel about it overall?
I think it's looking pretty good for CISA.
Okay, I see. What about you, Brendan?
I think pure domination from AUSS.
Ooh, pure domination from AUSS. Are we still on? They cut it. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. So our sound is still on stream, I'm assuming. Okay, so pure domination from AUSS. Those are fighting words indeed. Okay. Going into that's my computer settings. I'm supposed to keep talking. My director is saying keep talking. Okay. Well, what do you guys feel about today's matches overall? Have you watched any of them yet?
I feel pretty hopeful. Yeah.
Pretty hopeful for Caesar. Okay.
Yeah, I looked at the first couple of games. Unfortunately, Devs, not the best performance, but Axa vs Tanza was really, really good to watch.
Yep.
Tanza looked really scary. We'll see what happens in this game, and maybe it could be a future opponent.
We'll have to see. Hey, listen. Strength Society versus CISA. Whoever wins will face AUEC, so it will be very exciting to watch this. I don't know what our production manager is doing.
Type in chat if you want it on stream.
Type in chat if you want it on stream. Yes, sir. Okay, going into the match, CISA versus AUSS. What are they doing in production, bro? They
Yep. Hey guys, now we're back at it. Firstly, I'd like to start off free. Our production team did nothing wrong, and yeah, it'll be a great game. I'm excited to get into it. You know, I'm excited to see the matchups. You know, I think the most important thing personally is just the smolder, right? It's a guaranteed timer. No matter how well you play the game, your game is on a timer. You are playing the game with Smolder's rules. You close it up before he hits 225 stacks, before he gets those items, or you lose. So, you know, there's a lot of kill potential with the Lucian Lux lane, I like to think. You know, just one Q and half your HP gone, right? So I'll be very interested then as well. I think, like I said, Ambessa did go top lane. I think Yasuo and Rumble will be a perma fighting lane in the mid lane as well. I'll be excited to what the Lee Sin and Jarvan has to offer in their mid lane. Yeah, so I'm honestly looking forward to it. It's of course, it's not like your average draft, but it is still very exciting, you know. Lux always bringing a bunch of different aspects into the game that we usually don't see when it comes to Enchanter supports. I'm kind of sad that we still haven't seen like a hardcore engage support yet, but yeah.
Definitely, as well as Smolder taking barrier in this lane is a little bit scary. Personally, I think Cleanse would have been a fairly safe option here, especially if you want to get through that early game, if you want to survive that Lucian, that Lux route. But if he's confident in his movement, then I don't think he has a problem to worry about. Going into this game, what are you thinking, Jin? Who are you rooting for? Any sides?
You know, I love a good Rumble game. You know, I've loved Rumble since the days of, you know, SKTT1 Marin. You know, a bit of an OG top laner, you know, but I still remember his Rumble gameplay, and you know, I've liked Rumble since I was a kid. So every time I see a Rumble, it does get me excited. Yes, I'm always excited to see a Rumble. I hate watching Smolders. I think they're so fucking boring. You know, like, are you playing League or are you playing to farm to 225, huh? Like, enjoy the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And especially the Melio, man. That's 2 games of Melio now, is it?
It is. That we've seen.
But honestly, you have to respect it. The Melio just offers so much utility, it's insane. So, yeah, but I think I just think it's a really interesting draft, and it can honestly flip either way.
We're also watching a double ignite in the mid lane here, so it could be very volatile. But of course, we could see some swaps come through.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, but I really want to see what this Lux pick was for. You know, this Lux player must be, you know, out of her bloody mind. You know, Xing, he has to be the GOAT at Lux for them to try and make Lux work in today's game into Smolder. You know, I want to see some crazy Q 2-man flashes. You know, I want to see some crazy Jarvan EQ flash into a 5-man ult. I want to see Lee Sin doing some unheard of insects. I want these people to be discovering new mechanics. You know, they're on their ego picks. We're seeing a Lee Sin and a Yasuo and a Lux in the same game and the same team. You know, this is what we've been waiting for, right? We've always been expecting stuff like, you know, we've seen stuff like the Sivir. Like let's be real, no one enjoys seeing a Sivir. She's a perma-farming champion. In both first 2 games, we saw the ADCs purchasing Cull, except the Ziggs, because I don't really know what the Ziggs was even doing. But we see these Cull purchases come through. That's like the sign that the lane is going to be a boring lane, right?
Of course.
And I think it's time for that to change. That's why I'm happy to see a Lucian, and I'm unhappy to see the Smolder, you know? Because we already sat through bot lane just being a snooze fest already. Why are we seeing another one? You know, I want to see that Lucian get active. I want to see that Lucian dropping a triple-double like he's Russell Westbrook in 2016. You know, that's what I want. That's what I'm here to see. We don't want boring games. We don't want slow games. We just want, you know, fun matches, a lot of action. And I think that Yasuo and I think a Rumble can promise that, same as the Lee Sin and the Jarvan. You know, a lot of mid-game skirmish potential, a lot of mid-game fighting potential, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Definitely waiting for the level 6s to come through here, especially with those flash kicks, like you said. If we can get a big one into a Yasuo ult, well, that would do numbers for the stream, numbers for the players as well. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, as much as I'd like to say unbiased here, but you know, I'm looking forward to AUSS's gameplay here. Looking forward to their mechanics coming through. You know, like they said, play some real sports. AUSS never falter.
So you also representing AUSS and the Valorant side of things. How are you feeling for the Valorant side?
Never felt better, honestly.
Yeah.
We're taking this down.
Oh, you guys
Every
think
single
you're winning League and Valorant?
Of course, without a doubt. Yeah.
I'll be making sure I watch.
Are you sounding a little bit unsure here?
No, I think Valorant will be a little bit difficult. You know, we got the big names like Simply. You know, we got Simpia. We got, you know, IU. We got these big names all playing in one team. We have the AUEC super team of Shing. You know, Trick.
I don't really say Shing is very super, but
we got these super teams being created. You know, of course Shing is a little bit boosted and does get carried by his teammates, but you know, we gotta stay mindful. You know, but yeah, I think Valorant will be very hard for you guys to try come first, but I will be supporting you guys. And yeah, but back to the League game. the main matchup that I was looking at today was the top laners. You know, SESA, Augmandius, you know, E1, you know, Emerald 1, AUSS, you know, Master 1, right? Like, they're respectively high rank in each of their teams, right? And they play very egotistical champions. Well, maybe not Augmandius, but at least Kappa. Kappa is a Riven player, and I was kind of hoping for a Riven, but of course it doesn't actually translate like that in a competitive format. So now we're seeing the Ambessa and Mordekaiser matchup. I'm not too sure how it goes, but I would personally, I'm assuming that it's a Mordekaiser-sided matchup because Mordekaiser usually does good into those melee range bruises.
Especially if she can't get, or if he can't get punished that bad early game. Which Ambessa does lack a little bit of damage. I mean, she is able to trade in and out with her passive there, but it is a bit tough for her to get through, especially with that W shield, with that sustain. If he runs like Grasp or Doran's shield or whatever, it is very hard for Ambessa to run through that health bar.
So yeah, I'm excited. I had you know, of course, like I said earlier, I want to see that bot lane have a bunch of action. I don't want, you know, both of them buying Cull this game. Lucian with a Cull is reported, right? You need to get out of here if you're buying Cull on Lucian.
Definitely.
And so I'm excited to see the top lane matchup. I'm excited to see the bot lane matchup, and I'm also excited to see the mid lane matchup. I think this is the first game we've had so far where I'm excited to see all three lane matchups. You know, and of course jungle. You know, Lee Sin and Jarvan. I'm sure they'll be having their own little skirmishes. You know, but yeah, I'm excited how it all tie in together. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a great game, and I think it will be the most entertaining game that we've had so far, and I think it will be I think it will also be
one of
the most mechanically demanding as well. You know, because we had Dr. Mundo in the first game, you know. So yeah, I'm excited for the hands check that will happen throughout today's game, and yeah, that'll be game 3. And following our schedule today, guys, for game 4 we'll have WDCC and AUEC, and then for game 4 we have VA USA, and then the winners of game 3, which is happening right now, for game 5. And then it should be a great game, great set of games. We'll also have a set of games for tomorrow. So we'll have the semifinals, and we'll have the grand finals tomorrow from similar time, similar schedule. Wednesday we'll be having a Valorant side of things, so similar to today's schedule, but for Valorant. And then on Thursday we'll be having Valorant semifinals into grands. Yeah. And then don't forget, guys, that this is all sponsored by Indomie. So make sure when you guys are at your Munchie Mart, you know, at your Pack and Save, you guys are out there buying your Indomie. You know, everyone's favorite noodle brand, everyone's favorite ramen brand. Make sure you're buying that. But yeah, I think, So if you had to, you know, Jono, you're a big fan of all these clubs, right? You go to all these club events. You're a bit of a playboy, you know. If you had to, you know, if you had to support one of these clubs that you're so like tightly involved with, what club would you choose to support? Of course, you can't choose Devs or AXA because they've both already been eliminated. You know, I know you love the Devs. You know, you all know them personally. Brought up from birth with them.
Yeah.
But you know, if you had to choose a team to root from now on, who would it be? I know you said Dante earlier, but I'm asking for a whole team, not just individual players.
I mean, I think you already know the answer to that.
What's the team?
Of course, it's AUSS.
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 So how much
like
do you
family
bench?
in here.
So how much do you bench?
That one, I don't know if I want to answer that question. You know.
So we're strength society. How much do you bench?
I might scare off the rest of the people.
What's your bench, deadlift, and squat?
Totals over 1,000 kgs.
1,000 kgs.
Yeah.
That's why you're in AUSS.
That's yeah.
Love
I
to
got these. You can't see in the camera, but like I got some huge muscles under here.
I was gonna say take your shirt off, but I don't think that's allowed.
I don't want to get banned from the club my first day of casting. So.
Yeah, but AUSS, you know, I think they have a strong team. I don't think they have a good chance of winning, if I'm completely honest. Right? There are a lot of some high ranks players. You know, AUSS just masters. You know, diamond players. But then we look at ESA, right? We look at ESA. We look at Tanza. We look at UOACS. We're not in solo queue ranks anymore. We're looking at pro players. We're looking at you know, diamonds and masters. So there's a lot on the line for that, and we'll finally be getting into game 3.
Our players are in the rift already, pinging for possible invade checks at least. Don't know if anything will be happening this early into the game.
Both junglers opting for blue smite.
Yeah.
It looks like there's no invade, just looking to hold their own jungle.
Yep. As ward goes down in the tri-bush for USS, and that's both wards gone. It's a very risky thing to be doing this early into the game, especially if you don't know where the junglers are pathing. I'm not sure how Lee Sin plays, but you usually start.
I think in a competitive set, you should always just be clearing downwards, right? You
Yeah.
should always be starting top and clearing downwards. I'm also interested in the Rumble's Doran's shield buy. It looks like he's not looking to fight at all, I'm assuming, until he's, 1 or 2 items in, which I think that's fine. I'm expecting like big top lane brawls as well, so if Lee Sin does start bot lane, I don't blame him either. I don't expect Ambessa and Mordekaisers to be in high HP bars and healthy HP bars, throughout laning phase. I expect them to be, at death door, constantly fighting, constantly, juking it out. That's what I'm here for.
The Yasuo, but it is a Conqueror Rumble instead of a Comet, so he won't be taking too much poker in the early game, hopefully. But overall, it will still be quite a tough lane, especially with the Flamethrower coming through and the fact that Rumble, if he times his overheat correctly, can absolutely chunk down that Yasuo.
Yep.
Alright, as our players are moving into lane, we get to start to see a little first bit of action. Of course, Rumble Q breaking away that Yasuo's flow, taking a little bit of damage over.
Of course, just a melee champion
coming out from Lux here, from Xing, as he hits both the players on the bot lane, takes out the bone plating, and of course here comes the bullying in the mid lane.
It looks like Lucian has secured the push onto the Smolder.
Yep, as expected, 2 stronger early game champions here. They will be looking to contest that level 2.
There's a whole lot of things going on in the early game here. Of course, Lee Sin, it looks like he's clearing top to up, or he might be looking for the invade with this Krug clear. Jarvan just clearing downwards, of course just playing for the bot lane.
Big dodges from the Ambessa here. Dodges the Death's Grasp from Mordekaiser. Takes pretty good trade on the top side.
Ooh, I don't know if the Yasuo can be taking that much damage, considering that he does have a Doran's Blade. He doesn't have that sustain, depending on the runes he's taken, but it would definitely not make him last longer in lane into a Rumble, especially that every time you're getting CS as a Rumble, you're going to contest it. But Ambessa jumps on the Mordekaiser.
Moves here.
She's trying to get the damage, but she
Flash
doesn't
comes
have
out from Mordekaiser.
Of course,
big trade.
Ambessa, capped with her long cooldowns, right?
Yeah.
Her Q, use it, and you're basically immobile for ages. And I think that really showed out there, where after the combo, she just didn't have enough damage, and Mordekaiser could flash away there.
And despite being down quite a bit of CS, she does look to be in quite a good position now, forcing out the flash TP from Mordekaiser, and having a lot of tempo. Again, Yasuo taking a lot of damage from that Rumble Q, tanking the whole thing.
It looks like Lucian is looking to push the wave here, but the Jarvan is bot side here, so we got to keep that in mind, where it can look kind of dangerous. But the Yasuo's running away, he doesn't have enough HP bar.
Again, this Ambessa, it's typing a little bit lower, not having that back yet. Does still seem to be making some good trades. Mordekaiser coming back to lane with the cloth armor.
But one thing to focus on is that as the Jarvan finishes his clear to look bot lane, there is a ward there, so it is a bit difficult. But Lee Sin, there is 0 vision, and it's a free gank for him in the top lane, really. Both junglers are looking to secure the Scuttle Crab.
The Mordekaiser, he's always going wide here. It's especially hard to hit on a champion as mobile as Ambessa, especially with all these dashes on every ability.
Oh, there might be a mid lane 2v2 skirmish coming up here. Oh, both pinged off, both seen on vision.
Yeah, and Lee Sin looking to take it back here after his full clear. We're moving back towards mid to go in.
Lee Sin on vision.
They have
I don't know if he can look.
the river push.
Of course, Mordekaiser looking in here for a big trade. He goes through, and he does get the passive damage on, but there's just so little passive damage when he's not building those AP items early on. It looks like when Mordekaiser did get that recoil and TP back, he did manage to grab himself a cloth armor, which will help him out very much in these trades. Of course, Lee Sin still kind of wasting a lot of time just wandering around at the top side on the vision. Yeah. They did spot him looking for the invade, but he is now looking for the recoil here to spend his gold.
Definitely will be interesting to see how this top lane matchup plays out in the next couple of waves, especially because Mordekaiser did lose a little bit of XP here. He will be late to that level 6, so we could see some kill potential coming out over the next couple of waves.
Lee Sin does ping on his way to the top lane. This could be a big kill angle, especially with the HP bar Mordekaiser had. It is a good bait.
Overheat comes out from...
But the E goes wide, but the Yasuo Q3 hits. But now he's in a dangerous position.
No ignite on both sides of mid.
EQ flash come through!
Yasuo tanks a tower shot to die.
Well played.
They go 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
There's a big play from the Yasuo. Of course, without the EQ flash, there is not enough damage.
Yeah. As you see, both top side, top and jungle on CISA back here.
Lee Sin is a couple camps behind this Jarvan. He did waste a lot of time, messing around at the top side, trying to look for this Jarvan, putting wards down, trying to look for a gank in the mid lane that just wasn't there. And now he is a little bit behind. He did only just recall now to grab his 2 long swords, but he is on time for the dragon, and that's what matters here. Somehow the bot lane, neither of the bot lane has recalled for this dragon.
Of course, Jarvan is able to get a pretty deep ward into the bot side jungle here. As the fight starts to break out in the bot lane.
The barriers come out from the Smolder. I think he really wants to keep his HP so he can stay relevant for this dragon fight. In the case that there is
though, because he is running out of mana. Same thing with Lux here. It is a bit tough for them to stay in this lane here.
But the thing about the Lux is that she does have that support item for that base mana regen. Wait, level 6 from the Ambessa
comes out.
This is not winnable for the Mordekaiser. Ult comes out from the Ambessa.
Lands. Q1, Q2.
But she misses the Q2. See, it's really important that she hits these Qs so she can continually chain it with the passive. Smolder looking for a possible
bot lane.
Smolder doesn't have enough mana.
Is stuck on the dragon.
The range
Perhaps
is
the
there.
EQ flash will come through.
Oh, but Java misses the EQ flash and Lux
walk
walk out alive. Ru comes through. There's honestly just... There's nothing to really look here. I think Lee Sin just gets the dragon for free because of the resources that the bot lane has. There's no mana on Melio or Smolder. There's no items bought on them. They have no damage. They have no abilities. All they have is auto attacks to offer.
Jarvan just doesn't have that ability to skirmish in 1v1 that.
There's a smite battle.
Quite low,
and Lee Sin gets the dragon. Jarvan can't be here.
Up first.
Jarvan can't be here. There's no point in the bot lane coming.
Comes through.
The bot lane has no mana. But the equaler comes down from the Rumble. Rumble gets one. But the barrier comes through. The Lucian walks away alive.
Rumble looking for that overheat right now. Pops his Q, gets the flow off the Yasuo. Yasuo's looking for the Q3, perhaps an ulti can come through. As they will walk away. Lee Sin ward hop over the dragon's wall.
And somehow SESA walks out of that alive. No one did. You know, 1 kill alone could have been super crazy there. The Rumble ult was good, but it's just that lack of mana from the bot lane. You know, their presence, it really doesn't mean anything. It's just another HP bar in the eyes of SESA.
Especially with the Smolder early game as well. He just doesn't have as much presence compared to the Lucian. Meanwhile, top lane still taking quite a big beating from this Ambessa here. Those Q2s really starting to chunk down on the HP bar.
Grub's coming up soon. Of course, both junglers pathing top lane. No, Lee Sin did get a nice buy of a pickaxe and 2 longswords. Jarvan got that tunneler and the gem. You know, this will be a nice fight here. But I really just think that the prior that Ambessa has on the top lane will help out for getting grubs here. Yeah. Mordekaiser is just looking to recall and get a TP back in lane.
It is looking very tough. He is sacking a lot of XP, a lot of gold here, just because he's not able to walk up into that Ambessa.
Ambessa now just got her ult. Oh, she is getting her ult back. Yep. She just now got her ult back. So there is that also kill pressure there and the dive pressure on that Mordekaiser. Yeah. Because even with that Mordekaiser ult, it may heal him by a little bit, but it's just not that sizable in early game when your HP bars are not that big.
Could look for a jungle skirmish here. Ambessa ult through the wall comes.
I think that's enough to be able to secure the grubs.
Zoning off that Lee Sin, showing him that this river is his space to take, that they are not welcome here into the grubs. We see Jarvan and Ambessa start on the grubs. Lee Sin appears to just be giving it, taking his blue, and then we'll see if he paths bot, perhaps a bot gank.
Mordekaiser just takes his time to get a free recall back rather than having to use TP. No, he uses TP. Maybe they're looking to contest the grubs.
Yeah, perhaps they wanted to
already here.
Just one, but it might be a little bit late. Lee Sin's still on his blue.
Maybe they're just looking for a fadeaway fight. Mordekaiser does have ult here. Rumble's now coming up as well. Rumble has no flash. If he gets caught here, it's a double knockup coming out from the Lee Sin. And they go down. Cataclysm comes out from Jarvan. The flash ult from Mordekaiser. The Jarvan's in the death realm. Jarvan has no flash. He had used it earlier in the fight. And the Jarvan goes down. And that is 2 kills to SESA, despite AUSS grabbing the grubs. That is not a good trade for AUSS in my eyes.
Definitely not. But hey, like you said, despite these early kills, they are still on a timer. If they can't shut down that Smolder, then it is still going to be a tricky game for them to play. Again, this Lucian is taking quite a bit of damage. He's forced to take a bad back here in the bot lane.
I really did like that Lee Sin kick there, you know, to guarantee that knock-up for that 2-man Yasuo ult. I think that really managed to get them stunned to deal enough damage to win that fight. Mordekaiser looking for the Q. I don't think Ambessa has enough damage. Mordekaiser doesn't have enough damage either. Mordekaiser no E.
Q2 comes through.
But the flash comes out and Mordekaiser takes 2 tower shots, but it's not enough. The Mordekaiser leaves out healthy. You know, they really got to start working on, you know, putting the Smolder down. We can't see how many stacks she has, but you know it's counting down. You know it's coming soon. And the Q3 connects from the Yasuo. Dragon coming up in a minute 20. You know, Lee Sin probably wants to get the Eclipse done for that, and he does get it done. Jarvan still doesn't have his Sundered Sky for this, so it is looking a little bit difficult for ASS to try and look for this dragon.
Yeah, it could just be giving. Jarvan is pathing away from the dragon as well, so unless he backs here, it could be tough for them to contest this, especially without the priority to go and ward here.
And I think it does feel really bad, you know, giving up a dragon, especially when you're already one dragon down.
Yeah,
it's quite difficult. You know, it's not an easy situation at all, and you know, I think they just got to focus up. You know, I think they just got to start finding their win con being smaller, and just start walking towards that. And they are, because Jarvan is looking for the bot lane here.
Gank in the bot lane. Lux is slowed by the Smolder W here. EQ comes through, and then Lux sidesteps, dies to the Smolder Q. Exhaust comes out of budget Pokimane here. Mu trying to walk away.
Luciano only has Barry. He won't be able to get alive.
He will have his pursuit coming up soon. Perhaps he could run over a wall. The Blast Cone is there for him to escape. Cataclysm come through.
And the
takes
kill.
That's 2 kills for Smolder. Again, accelerating that timer, accelerating that deadline that CISA has to finish this game. It is looking very, very scary for them now. Lee Sin looking top here on the Ambessa.
But the Q doesn't
goes wide.
You know, you must be really happy, right? AUSS getting those 2 kills for the Smolder.
Of course.
But unfortunately, I don't think that'll be enough.
It might be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, this Rumble looking very chunked there. You know, there is a lot of dive potential, because you got to remember that there is that point and click Lee Sin, you know, stun lock with that ult. You know, even if Yasuo doesn't have his ult, that's enough time to deal enough damage, right? With Ignite, with his Q, with his E, it's enough to pop a Rumble at that HP bar.
Definitely. Dragon is up now as we see Milio walking down towards the pit.
I think
and
with the
Jarvan,
infantry,
they're pathing downwards.
I think this looks very fightable for AUSS with the items that they now have. They managed to grab themselves a Sundered Sky. They managed to grab themselves an SS Shiva with those 2 kills in the bot lane, right? So I think now the second dragon looks very, very fightable for AUSS.
Especially with Lucian still not on that collector yet. Still looking to finish that off. He might have to take it back here, and if he does, then that dragon timer is very open for them.
And we're still running into the same issue of SESA's extreme lack of range. And, you know, Emilio even makes that worse for them, right? He gives people range. And Smolder with, you know, rapid fire cannon with Melios W, it just becomes so much more worse than you could actually think of. You know, all you have really is Yasuo wind walls to negate poke. You have no actual poke back. Maybe a Lux E, maybe a Lux Q, but into Emilio, that's nothing. You know, you're just trading cooldown for cooldown.
As well. She just doesn't have enough gold to start doing meaningful damage, at least until very, very late game. So it will be interesting to see how they play this out, especially in the later stages once Smolder does get a little bit stronger. Once they do get a little bit more poke on the Rumble or even just the Milio passive, which can start to do quite a bit of damage.
AUSS slowly dominating the game right now, but he gets hit by the Lux root. The Jarvan EQ jumps in, Cataclysm, 3-man Cataclysm, and Mum comes through from the Smolder. Smolder gets 1, and that's enough. That's all they needed. That's what they've been looking for. Smolder needs these small kills to accelerate.
Lee Sin Q comes up on the Smolder. Milio cleanse comes through. As we look,
now they're running on the back
around.
foot. Lee Sin has no ult. His Q no longer has much of a threat if it hits a full HP Smolder. You know, the barrier did come through from the Smolder, but it didn't even matter anyways. He's still basically full HP. You know, he still has that strong crash going into the lane. This Lucian has to try outplay this and survive. He only has barrier to him.
Lucian has to E away from the wave, sacrificing all that XP, all that gold there.
And now AUSS, you know, they have a nice position to get this dragon, but I don't think they're playing for it anymore. With Rift Herald coming up, I think they might just choose to value the Rift Herald over the dragon.
Definitely. Especially with plating just coming down now as well. AUSS managing to squeeze that last one out on the bot lane. It is becoming a lot of... The game is speeding up quite a bit here, it looks like. Mid lane still looking to skirmish, just hook each other out, playing that 1v1 lane. Rumble's trying to stack up his overheat. Again, 1 level down here, so Yasuo does have the advantage of the rank 2 ult here. It will be quite a bit of a damage boost, especially if they do go for a fight here. Rumble's going in with his Q, always proccing that Yasuo passive shield.
But the issue is for Yasuo is that, you know, as a lane with a Rumble goes on for longer, the lane just gets worse and worse for the Yasuo, right? It becomes harder for him to farm. And like the fire that you could tank with your flow no longer becomes tankable. Yeah. You start chunking a whole HP bar away. And the flash comes out from the Rumble and the Ignite from Jiyan. A little bit of disrespect from Jiyan there, but I think he did feel the pressure there, and I think flashing may have been the right play. But it might not matter. Lisa looking for
them
it.
walking towards mid.
But it's a 4v2. It's a 4v2 fight, and they aren't on vision right now. But
looking to trade Dragon for Rift Herald here, possibly, as we see Jarvan on the bot side in the Dragon pit. Lee Sin pathing back up top. Dragon is started by USS here. And Lee Sin looks like he's starting the Rift Herald, so it will be an objective trade coming through here. Honestly, I think the Dragon might do wonders for this for AUSS. They are getting another 5 minutes to play on top of that, another 5 minutes for that Smolder to scale. Not that he needs it, I think he is quite accelerated on stacks right now, but it will be quite nice. We'll see if...
it looks to be a Infernal Soul as well, which is very important for, you know, Smolder, right? The poke comps, right? So I think having that Smolder, having that, you know, Rumble that are pretty easy to proc those Infernal Soul will be very helpful to AUSS. But then again, for SCSA, who's really procking the Infernal Soul, right? Again, it's just that lack of range onto the backline, onto the carries that makes it really difficult. But the binding light hits from Flux. But it doesn't matter, they don't have enough damage. The solution has taken 16 minutes to finish Conqueror. It's not enough.
Ult comes out of Smolder. But it looks like it could be a possible
And the
kill.
flash from the Smolder and the Q. It's so much damage.
Barrier comes out of Smolder. Not sure about that one, but definitely just wanted to avoid the damage there. Stay as long as he can for this tower.
And with this
we have
tower
Jarvan looking for a possible dive here if he gets that EQ flash.
Cataclysm comes through, and it's a two-man knock-up, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have enough damage. He's just trolling. He's just trolling.
EQ comes through again. And right now, despite how it was looking early game, this Smolder, they just can't seem to find an answer for him.
It's just that Lee Sin just went into die and burnt his flash.
Burnt his flash, burnt his ult. Means next objective, I mean, he'll have everything back up again. Dragon wasn't too long ago, Herald wasn't too long ago.
It's just, I just think it's such a big draft differential in the bot lane, you know? I don't think there's ever a world where you first pick Lux and you take it to the support role. I said it's interesting to be nice. It's ass. No, that's what it is, right? It's brought 0 value. Her Binding Light, her roots mean nothing. You know, you rooted Smolder 3 times over this game. You've gotten 0 value out of it. What? Lucian E, Q, W. It doesn't matter. The meter negates everything. You know, the Smolder's laning at full HP, full comfort, doesn't have to burn cooldowns. All he's doing is just queuing wave after wave, stacking up, and now he's 4-0-1 with a 350 gold bounty, got mid lane to himself, full safety. They're never getting him. They're never catching him.
Especially with that movement speed on the Smolder E. It is very hard to hit him during that, and on the off chance that you do hit him, again, he has the Milieu, he has the free cleanse on him. He has that ability to go back in after and just negate all that damage.
It looks very difficult game. I feel like the only way they can really look to shut down the Smolder is through the Lee Sin. And I think that's what SCSA was truly going for. They were looking for the hope that Lee Sin can get to that Smolder, right? That Lee Sin can kick that Smolder or look for a knock-up for Yasuo to get that big combo. But the truth is, it's not a fairy tale, right? That just doesn't happen. That's in like the world's best case scenario, and it's just that AUSS has a much easier comp to execute. You know, a Jarvan Rumble ults, you know, Cataclysm into the ult. It's so easy. You don't need a brain. You just need a monkey could do it, right? And those are the comps that people should be playing. Those are the comps that they should be looking to play. Easy to run comps that you know will work. That you don't really need to do special practice for it. And those are the comps that are winning.
Yeah, very true. However, I would still like to see Sisa pull through some crazy kicks here. I mean, regardless of whether it's been a waste or not, Lee Sin has been hitting some nice ultis here, and especially when they start grouping up with the Yasuo, with the Mordekaiser, could still pose quite a threat. As we see a lane swap come out now for Smolder to come through mid while Lucian's staying bot.
This Jarvan may be looking for the dive on the Yasuo. The Yasuo does have flash and ignite, but without a Windwall, it looks so dire. This Rumble might be a pop, but look at the Lucian! He's doing no damage! He's doing no damage! What is this Lucian pick?
And he's forced to just run away. Doesn't matter if he can kite or not. I mean, Rumble did just eat the whole ultimate, but Jarvan...
It just doesn't matter.
Pops the Cataclysm just for fun. A little bit over the top.
The Rumble ate their ass! He ran them down and he ate their ass! The Lux pick was not it!
And again, Jarvan here just able to take control of this job.
And he misses the EQ. Oh, that's awkward.
But he's still winning. He
that's awkward.
presses R on the Lucian's head just for fun. Doesn't matter. Like he's that confident in the state of the game, in how much gold he has, and how strong he is right now.
No, Budget Pokemon actually playing a very clean game. The whole bot lane of
Mordekaiser comes out in the top
lane.
lane.
On the top lane.
Flash comes through from Mordekaiser as well.
But there's no damage for either of them. Yeah.
Again,
there's just too much shielding from him.
If he isn't able to hit those Qs, if he isn't able to hit those Es, it's very hard for him to play. And as long as Ambessa holds enough abilities, even though if they're quite long in cooldown, they are starting to get shorter now, especially with the Eclipse Spy. It is just very hard for Mordekaiser to be landing these skill shots on there.
Wow, he one-shots the back lane. I don't think this is a fight that Ambessa wants to be taking when Lee Sin's pathing top lane. 1E and it could be death for the Ambessa.
Could be coming through. Lee Sin does have his Dragon Blade as well.
And that is a nice kick from the Lee Sin to confirm her fate. 0-2 for the top lane. Of
Could
course,
be a top
Mordekaiser.
tower, tier 1 as well.
Bit
We're
of a
looking to
win
go-
condition for the Mordekaiser, you know. He is 2-0. At the end of the day, he is a Mordekaiser. He is, if he does manage to get that ult on the Smolder's dead, right? Well, he's coming out of the ult with no HP. I think that may be the win combat. I just don't think it'll be enough.
This is quite a lot of gold over to the side of Cisa. Tier 2 tower as well. 700 for the...
But this is looking really bad for Cisa, you know. This Arakan and Dragon up in the bot lane. You can't be investing 2 people in the top lane just for 2 towers and an Ambassador kill who was already on one.
does want to fight
This
for both
Mordekaiser
of these.
TPs in, but what value does he bring with Mordekaiser ult, right?
Again,
without
very
Mordekaiser
split
ult.
as well from this team. AUSS does seem to be backing off quite a bit, but again, they're always there to recontest. They haven't had to commit anything yet. They got a free dragon and they're backing out.
Of course, with fighting Arakan, the resistance trade makes it very difficult to actually start it. It does get very difficult, but oh wow, that Mordekaiser damage is pretty nutty. Pretty nutty. But of course, everyone just leaning towards bot side, right? They really want this Arakan. No team wants to start it, but no team wants to give it. You know, because it's such a weird objective to do. Because you know the importance of it, but you also know how difficult it is and how much of a throw it is by starting it. Yeah. That is a lot of damage from a Smolder W on that Lux.
He is getting quite deep into the stack.
Wait! Our flash comes out from the Lee Sin. The flash comes from the Rumble, but it's not enough, and he goes down! And he still needs the Rumble ult on the bot lane. That means he won't have Rumble ult for the Arakan fight, which is so important. Because with the MR shred on top of the Rumble ult, it does so much.
AUSS,
Cataclysm comes down, but the Lee Sin, Q was missed. He won't have enough damage.
They are tanking the Arakan as well. But he does die. Goes in 1v2. Tries to go for the hero play. Doesn't do enough. Again, this is still playable though. If the Smolder is able to cut it out, is able to poke it down, it can be quite scary for the Lee Sin.
Of course, Smolder's still up here. They need to show respect to the Smolder. There is no death ram. There is no Lee Sin kick. There is no way to stay on top of the Smolder here. Unless the Smolder runs in like an idiot and he gets popped. He gets popped. Ambassador goes down.
Some big throws from AUSS here.
What is going on? Given it, but the Million manages to get out. But oh my goodness, Smolder, what are you doing? You can't be walking up when they have all their cooldowns, and especially can't be caught by the Mordekaiser E.
Now Mordekaiser's for another 650 gold bounty here, looking quite scary. Possibly half an item here, maybe even 3/4 of one coming up.
The game is flipped. That's what I'm talking about. It's the Arakan flip. One Arakan and you game Kemi over just like that.
Nosferatu here, possibly going down here. No Ignite from Rumble.
Rumble, no ult. Because he used it last time before he died, but the Lee Sin looks like to get out.
Could be looking to go down here. No. Lee Sin does get out for free. Has to pop the ult though.
Baron is coming up in a minute 46. It is looking very, very hopeful for SCSA. Of course, you know, the power of Lee Sin will start getting reduced now that we are hitting like the 20-30 minute mark. Of course, but Lee Sin did grab a Serpent Fang, which is very nice value for the team. It works for basically every single one of the members on the enemy team. I think Serpent Fang is a very big, great value buy, and I'm assuming he is making his way towards the Thunder Sky to give that extra tankiness that he needs. And I really like the direction of SCSA right now. I think it's working very well, but it's just that, you know, I still don't think that Lucian is doing any damage at the moment, right? He's 30 CS down on a Smolder. He's 2 items, and the 2 items are only being Essence Even and Collector. And it's just, at what point will he start doing damage?
Yeah, if it's not early game, then it's never. Especially with with a champion like Lucian, he has to get that accelerated early game. He has to get through those items. If he can't, then he is just, especially with his shorter range, even though he does have that dash, he does have that mobility, it does become very difficult for him to get through. And look at the side of AUSS. He has a Jarvan, he has an Ambessa, like, he is not going to be doing any damage to either of those.
It's just, I think, when in a proper 5v5 team fight, I think it's just become so impossible for Cisa to actually access Smolder, right? And we can actually see the strength of Smolder unless he just runs it down like he did in that Arakan fight. Yeah. But I'm sure he won't do that again.
It is definitely looking like a Mordekaiser and Lee Sin versus the world here. As
Cataclysm and the Rumble ult combo we were talking about. They're still getting ticked. They're half HP.
Half HP here. Milios Smolder moving down, but we...
Lifeline pops on the Lee Sin, but it looks like they got out scotch-free. That is big. They pulled out 2 super team ultimates a minute before Dragon fight. Yeah. That is super big, and all they did was sack nothing. All Yasuo used was the wind wall. Lee Sin hopped them with the safeguard, and they just walked out. That was it, you know?
But, I mean, it is still a minute away. Most of the cooldowns will be almost there by the time that Dragon spawns. So if this fight does go out, we'll see another Cataclysm come through. We'll see another Equalizer come down as well. Smolder is on 200 stacks now. very, very close. We'll see if he can get these 25 stacks by the time the dragon spawns. 40 more seconds. That is like 2 or 3 waves if that he needs here. So it is going to be very scary. If he can hit this 200 stacks, again, he's taking the jungle camps as well now. AUEC understands how important the spike is.
I think people are more focused on that, you know, I think the teams are more focused on that Baron right now rather than, you know, the Dragon. You see all of them leaning towards top side. You know, AUEC, everyone's top side really apart from the Rumble, but that but yeah, I think they're putting a lot of value on the Baron. You know, they're putting the wards down. But of course, but Caesar chooses to run down towards the Dragon here. They see them on Dragon, they have the vision. You know, what's stopping AUEC from running to Baron?
Well, I think AUEC is quite comfortable getting this Dragon here just because they know that their Smolder is almost at that state where everything is inevitable, where he is able to just execute all the players. So they're happy to stall the game out a little bit longer. It doesn't matter if they Caesar gets this extra 5 minutes because the timer really is just on this Smolder here. They already are on 2 drags as well, so evening it out, not too much of a difference for either side here.
Smilo is in a dangerous position. There is a Javan hovering, so I don't think there is a look for a play here, but ooh, this is a close game. I think it's just about getting the activation for the smaller 225.
Definitely. And if he's been stacking properly, then he is missing quite a bit of CS here, but over one, this wave
he'll be hitting -1 on that Cadden, but they should be the smaller should be looking to hit that 225 stack.
Especially if these wolves are still up as well.
He is at 218, so that's a wave to go, and that's when the whole game starts to change. You see the whole game start to get morphed around by the Smolder now. Not once that hit the 225 stacks, and you know, even though it might not feel like it's much more damage, just that whole execute bar being on your HP bar is scary,
it's
right?
Very threatening, yeah. So we'll definitely see that Lee Sin will probably start looking for a lot more insect angles on this Smolder. Look for a lot more ways to get the Smolder out of the game straight away at the beginning of the fight.
Smolder's still not 225 stacks, but basically get out of the next minion here. I think he's seriously got to look for something. Look for something Baron.
Clearing. Yep.
You know, this is now where it gets a little bit stale, right? Where everyone's just, you know, no one wants to fight. Everyone's too scared to fight. No one wants to get picked, right? So they won't fight unless they have to, you know. Yeah. And no, Dragon's not up to another 3 minutes. Baron's up right now, but I don't know. I think like they should really look for it. You know, they should actually look for something. As the Smolder now hits that 225 stacks, you see those big horns on his head, you know, getting lit up. That's a sign of the 225 stacks. I think they should look to fight. And Lisa saw the chickens. Lisa.
And we'll start to see,
Jungle
just
Gap, I
like
guess.
the Tanza Axa game, we'll start to see a little bit of a Baron dance happening here as the players fight for vision, as they fight for control or an angle to look for a pick, look for a good fight or anything like that.
Of course, so scared, you know, just Javan eating the bushes, you know, so afraid to walk up to even water, you know, but that's how you know it's serious, right? No one wants to throw the game with one, because at this point in the game, one team fight, one pick can spiral out of control into you losing a team fight, and when you lose a team fight at this point in the game, Baron, bleed, ending the game, you're gone, right? Out of the tournament from a mistake. No one wants to be the one making that mistake. So everyone's, you know, extremely cautious. Everyone's just looking for that one last team fight, because, you know, that might not actually be the last team fight, but it's the last deciding team fight, you know?
Of course,
and especially when that Smolder finally hit that 225. And I'm just really excited what that Smolder is, like, you know, capable of actually doing here.
Definitely.
And Lee Sin's sitting in that pocket of vision looking for the Smolder, but
getting very rough while the Milio isn't on the map yet. So they are just sitting around in their own jungle looking to fight for this vision. They know where the enemy wards are, but they can't really see into river themselves. So it is very scary. A lot of fog of war covering up all the enemies here. Smolder does have to play very cautious. One bad, if he walks up too far and the Lee Sin is able to get an angle of the kick onto him, if the Yasuo is able to get an ult onto him, then it could just be towers gone and hips gone. You don't know how much further they can take it. Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering how useful this Smolder is now, you know.
Definitely, we haven't seen a fight yet.
Yeah, she's just, you know, she's only 2 items at, you know, 30 minutes, so it does feel weak. But I think she's doing a good job, you know, keeping around, staying around, you know. So I think that's right. But I'm interested in what this ambassador has. Of course, she's, you know, she does have that CC. She does have that insane amount of team fight like durability with her W, that damage reduction and the shielding. So I'm excited what she can do, right? I'm interested in what she can do, but then again, I'm also very, very interested in what this Mordekaiser is gonna do. We saw that Q damage. He's 3-shotting the Rumble. You know, he's 2-shotting the Melio, and
He is quite tanky as well. He can take his own fair bit of damage, especially with that W again. A lot of shielding coming through, a lot of healing if he needs it. And in that ultimate, if he's able to take out that Mbessa, take out the Jarvan, or even if he's able to reach the backline into that Smolder, he can just take one person out of the fight, making it into an even 4v4.
He won't take them out of the fight, he'll kill them too, you know? He'll send them to Brazil and show them how the cartel works there. You know, like this is no joke. You know, this Mordekaiser is the strongest thing I've ever seen, you know? He's like, he's the king of this lobby, you know? It's insane. He's like Kobe Mainu, you know? I talked about him in game 2.
As the pick comes through,
but the pick finally comes through.
And
the ult comes through. The blast cone is there, but he won't make to it in time. He's Death Realm. Who is he fighting? He's
fighting Mbessa.
But the
Mbessa flash comes through.
But the Cataclysm on the 2-man. Smolder does have the mum. He flashes away, the Smolder flashes away, the Smolder's running them down now. The Wimble comes through, the Jarvan's in pretty deep now. He gets out. Lee Sin, kick. He doesn't get the kick flash on, he messes it up. The Smolder's cleaning them all up. Lee Sin goes down. Smolder's running down the Yasuo. He gets a 2-man knock-up, and that just saves his life. But that is Dragon gone. And now AUSS will be on Soul Point. People, one kick flash messed up can throw the whole team fight. That's how important these fights has to be done. That is how hard of a team comp SCSE is running. One mistake and you lose. While AUSS, they just have protect Smolder and you win strat going on, you know? And that looks to be Baron gone as well.
Even with the Lee Sin ult kick flash missing, I don't think that fight was losable, especially after how it started, with Mordekaiser dying even in the Death Realm, with the Lux getting caught out straight away like that. No, nothing had to be consumed to kill that Lux there. It was just Smolder Q, EQ from Jarvan, and straight away she was pumped. Come on, how far disappeared. There you go, Baron comes through. Lux does try to go for the steal, but it comes a little bit late, unfortunately. And it looks like a full reset for the side of AUSS here.
That Lux pick was so insane because, you know, she was in a very, you know, overextended, aggressive position, but I don't think anyone expected her to pop that quickly, right? She was there for a second, and then she died. She died quicker than I would destroy a ward at level 10 in League of Legends, right? Like, it's insane. The damage they have in AUSS side is just too much. Like, they have... AUSS will run SCSA down front to back faster than CISA running back to front on AUSS. And of course, Smolder got that GA as well, the Guardian Angel. So truly, how do you win this team fight now from CISA? What can they actually do? And of course, we saw the Mordekaiser ult in the earlier fight on the Amissa. He wasn't exactly killing the Mbessa that fast either. She held her own. Of course, she had to burn Flash to dodge the Mordekaiser Q. But the truth is that this Mordekaiser still, you know, the Mbessa came out of the ult with half HP, right? This Mordekaiser's strong, but this Mbessa's so tanky.
Especially with that Serpent's Fang on Mbessa now as well, it makes it very difficult for that Mordekaiser to press W. Look at that shield, absolutely consumed by the Serpent's Fang. He is healing quite a bit, so it could be scary for Mbessa, but no, it doesn't matter at the end.
And the Mordekaiser goes down. That was the last hope.
Yep, and we'll see top tier 1, probably tier 2 as well go down here as they siege through. Yasuo is still opting to shove in the bot lane. Rumble they could look for a pinch on the mid side here with the Lucian, with the Lux. Again, Rumble pushing in that wave, always threatening 2 lanes at once.
You know, pushing top lane while Dragon has a 3-minute spawn timer. You know, just your normal, you know, plays to make. They crack this tower up, you know, Baron, you know, 3 grubs. No one's defending that. Oh, Jarvan misses EQ. Report him. Oh, no, he seems to be doing alright. Wow, that's Smolder damage on the Lux.
1Q,
and Equalizer comes through. The Cataclysm comes through, and the Lux is gone out of the game.
Yasuo does take down the tier 2 tower for himself, but I don't think that's enough to save them at this point.
They don't have the wave clear. They can
Jarvan's
just walk it
tanking
down.
towers.
The only wave clear they have is dead. The only wave clear is dead. And all they have is Illusion, Lee Sin. They can't stop the siege.
Yasuo looking to back now,
the
but
game
might
won't
be
even
too
go
late.
to the Dragon.
Inhib comes through for AUSS.
Rumble pushing the top wave as well here. Mbessa and Yasuo are fighting in the bot lane.
Mbessa
and the Yasuo
does get out with the Eclipse proc.
Oh.
Yasuo attacking 2 tower shots there. No ignite on him.
Oh, Yasuo. Yasuo does need to look to get out here. You know, the whole team is looking to, you know, start moving down to the Yasuo. Smolder and Meter looking to recall here because they need to buy. They need to spend their gold for this Dragon.
Yasuo showing a lot of respect there, knowing that Mbessa still has that public execution. If he does go for the dive, it is very likely he'll get stunned down the tower and die there. So
Of course, this next dragon being Soul Point for AUSS, and Smolder with Inferno Soul, that's just asking Lux to not be able to play the game because she's already getting two-shotted out here. It's not fair to make it one. I think CISA has to really make a play. But I say they have to make a play, but if you really ask me how they should do it, I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you how they would win this team fight.
It does just look like AUSS could just win straight on this drag. Either they get contested and then CISA will probably lose all 5 of their members, maybe 4 or something. But AUSS will end up with the soul unless some horrible misplays happen here. We are starting to see both teams move down towards this dragon, look for vision, look for control. Q3 lands from Yasuo but doesn't decide to play off that. He knows Jarvan is bot lane. Could see an EQ come out from Jarvan here. TP's come down to the bot lane. EQ R comes from Yasuo. Jarvan tries to get out. Flash Milio ults, lives. Equalizer comes down onto 2 of them. Yasuo shield bow proc, looking to die. Cataclysm comes through. Again, the Smolder just in the backline, wreaking havoc. Executes that Lee Sin. This Mordekaiser, despite ulting this Jarvan, doesn't seem to be able to do anything here. And it looks like that might just be game for AUSS here, as they can walk down the bot lane. They have a mid lane wave pushed up as well. It might just be unplayable for CISA at this point.
I think it's been unplayable for a long time.
For quite a while, yeah. The Smolder, look at his confidence. He's just able to walk up, press W, press Q, and half bar is gone.
It's just a hard game. They don't even need soul. They can just slowly siege the tower. And I don't think there's anything they can do about it.
Yeah. And here we go. We'll see 2 inhibs get taken at the very least. Still 20 seconds on these respawn timers. 30 for Mordekaiser. It could just be game.
Listen, right? These two teams, both amazing players. They're great players. But the issue is that, if you give a car mechanic, a paintbrush to fix a car, no matter how good the mechanic is, he's not fixing that car. And this is what I'm seeing with SCSA, right? They have great players, they're, mechanically great. You saw the Yasuo, how he did the EQ flash on the Rumble in lane. But the fact is that if you don't give them the tools to win the game, they can't. And that's just the truth, And that's what I think we're seeing here the most here. You didn't shut the Smolder down, because you can't, right? It's so hard to shut that Smolder down with a Lux. And since you can't shut the Smolder down, the Smolder just goes on, spirals the game out of control, and now you're looking to be down 2 dragons down, a Baron down, 3 grubs down, and you're just behind. You're just getting stomped, right? Yeah. There's nothing you can do.
The jungle isn't theirs anymore either. We saw the bot side get taken away. As this Baron spawns, both teams moving up towards Baron. Yasuo is still bot lane, so if they want right now, I guess I could look for some, or just the side of AUSS could look for control here. 5v4.
This just the Hail Mary.
playing the waves on the bot lane.
Yeah, I think, CISA, this Baron should be the Hail Mary, but I think even if they throw everything they have at the Smolder, maybe they kill him once. But can they kill them again through GA? Probably not. And that's why it's just such a difficult at GA by a disgusting purchase.
Just like you said, even if they throw everything at Smolder, but then they still have 4 other players to worry about. It's not like this Jarvan is weak, it's not like the Rumble is weak, it's not like the Ambessa is weak. They're still tanky, they're still doing damage as well. They're all strong in their respective rights.
It's just a difficult game. They have to give this Baron up. Or they're
Rumble
looking to fight for it, but
to melt through that. Lee Sin goes in at 1v5. Public execution comes through and he dies. Now it's just a 4v5 against the Smolder. Still has GA. Very rough for them to play here. They're trying to walk in.
The Smolder can flash forward and they still win.
Cataclysm comes through. Cactus 2. EQ comes up after a knocks up. Equalizer on 2 of them. Smolder and Mum comes through. And it's just over.
And then Pistol with a triple kill. Give him the Quadra. Give him the Quadra. Oh, that's
a ace to end the game. 5 for none.
There's a great performance from AUSS. Great performance from SCSA as well. It's just unfortunate, when it comes to the league and it's 10 great players, every game is a 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations to, AUSS for winning and making it through to the next round. Congratulations to SCSA for even being able to come on land today and be able to play and do their best. This was a beautiful game to watch. It was beautiful plays made. 10 great class players. Thank you for their time today. Congratulations to AUSS for winning. Congratulations to SCSA for winning free Indomie but losing the game. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time at the losers interview.
Welcome back, team, to Interclub Esports Championships 2025. So, who are we here with today?
OG Mandino, aka Igor.
Okay, Igor. Give us your thoughts on the game that just happened.
Look, it was pretty good. We were winning quite a bit. I think definitely the losing tide for us was when I was playing top, when Lux and I went to clear wards in bot side jungle to prepare for Drake. And then we got one shot. And then after that, I think we just got outscaled.
That's tough, man. That's tough. But hey, it was looking like a very close game, I have to say. Now, in your opinion, what's the team that everybody should be looking out for the rest of this tournament?
Look, not gonna lie, I did a little bit of stalking in the Excel sheet, and then I saw that UOACS has some very correct players. Apparently an ex-pro, according to one of my teammates. So I think definitely on the lookout for them. But besides that, devs, shout out the other tech clubs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, before we go, two more things. Any personal shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, I like to shout out CISA, my GOAT President Uja, my GOAT Industry Lead Tony Lim, and then all the boys there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, one final thing. What's your favorite flavor of Indomie?
I have to say original. I can't handle the spice, unfortunately, but I'm building up the resistance.
All right. Original it is. Oh, here you go, brother.
Sweet, thank
All
you so much.
Back to you.
Yep. Welcome everyone. Here for the winners interview. I have Ash from AUSS. Probably the result you expected, but was that how the game you expected it to go?
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting the win, but it was a bit closer than we wanted. It definitely went on for a bit longer, but never falter. AUSS made the comeback. Thank you, Smolder. Simple thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now you do have a second game. You're going round 2 into AUEC.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that game?
I think we're definitely warmed up. Hopefully, ready to take the dub. I have to get back to the team on that one, but yeah, I think we're feeling pretty good. Our scrims went well yesterday as well.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Unfortunately, your game won't be on stream because we do have WCC and Valsat coming up at the same time, but we'll publish the results here as well, but hopefully that goes well and you guys will make it to day 2. But yeah, do you have a favorite Indomie flavor?
Definitely barbecue chicken flavor.
Barbecue
That's
chicken?
the best
That's
one.
a good one. I like that one too. This is
Thank
yours.
you.
Yeah, well, thank you. We'll head to a break now, and draft will get back here when the draft begins. Alrighty, and we're back. So we have, I believe, is it WDCC and VA USA coming up next?
Yep.
Yep. Just as they're getting into draft, we'll have a quick look at the brackets and see where we've been left off. So unfortunately, that would be CISA eliminated here. So
gone, dead.
AUSS will be moving on to the next stage.
CISA's
We'll
dead to all of
see
us.
them, well, we won't see them, but they will be playing against AUEC here. Unfortunately, this game will not be streamed, but we'll get a taste of.
Hey, another reason to come watch it in person.
Yes,
maybe you can
sir.
catch more of a whiff of a game for the games that aren't streamed on it.
Well, of course, I have no doubt in my AUSS boys.
I have a lot of doubt,
You have a lot
especially
of
after
doubt?
that game.
I might have a lot of doubt as well.
Yeah.
That was quite a close game, quite a scary game against CISA there.
Especially when
A lot
Smolder
of-
ran it down at Otacon, but we don't talk about that one. Though.
Yeah,
Instead, we'll get
a
back
lot
to
of
the new
misplays.
draft.
There were some interesting EQ flashes from Jarvan as well, but you know what? A win is a win. We take those.
Yep.
Maybe they'll tidy up their game a little bit.
Yep.
They'll play something nice and clean in this game.
Mhm,
Coming up, we have draft coming in soon, hopefully, of WDCC versus VA USA.
Yep.
Without saying anything too much, I think we will be in for a very interesting game here.
Yeah, we'll be seeing some crazy champions this game. Hopefully,
Yep.
if we see another Siva or a Smolder, I might just go home early today. Let's check it out. We'll
I think
probably have to see
they're
the
still
band
loading
first.
into draft here. I think there is some pick issues, but
So, which team are you supporting here? WDCC or VA USA?
ooh, it's a little bit hard to say. I don't know
Mhm.
any of the members personally, but
Mhm.
all I'm hoping for are some funny mechanics, a little bit of interesting choices here, a little bit of interesting draft picks as
Yep,
well.
yep.
Hopefully, we'll see some maybe, I don't know. We'll see a little AP Aurelia top lane or something coming out. I'm personally a big fan of that.
Yep.
I think you might have experienced it firsthand.
This was a tough time. Well, the ban phase is now starting.
Alrighty, so
WDCC,
on the
starting
blue
us with the
side,
ban.
An
And
Aurelia
Aurelia.
pick. I think they might have heard me in the casting room.
Uh,
So no AP Aurelia today. That's a bit unfortunate, but
A Rengar ban, it's interesting because you don't really see Rengars anymore, but out of 4 games today, we've already had a Rengar ban now and a Rengar picked in the first game. Of course, the Rengar game didn't really work out in the first game, and then a Smolder ban, I'm
Smolder ban, I
happy.
think, yeah.
Now, what would make me even more happy is a Sivir ban here from VA USA.
yeah, honestly, or just ban Enchanters as well. Silas,
ban is
very
as
interesting.
well.
So VA USA could be looking for some heavy ults here. Maybe an Alistar,
Yep.
maybe even a Malphite if something like that.
Of
or-
course,
or
Silas got
Yana.
banned last game as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, we're seeing a lot of, heavy value put on the Silas here. And
the
a
Rammus,
ban.
very interesting.
Are we
picks
going to
here.
see a Yasuo? Are we seeing
or even
another
even a
Yasuo?
Master Yi in the jungle? I
Or,
know
yeah.
even after the changes, might not be as strong of a counter pick before.
Or, maybe they're afraid of the Rammus support that
but
they
that
ran last
barrel pulled out,
Yep.
saving World's viewership.
Oh, a second Olaf ban in the day.
Echo coming through, or
Draven.
Ooh, Draven. I like this.
Those
is what I
are
like to
picks we
see.
want to see. No more Sivir.
Draven again.
I would love to see a Lucian here.
Something
fighting.
crazy in the bot lane.
I don't mind a Yunara. I don't know how Yunara does with those nerfs, but a Yunara would be
I
really
think
nice here.
Yunara would
And
be
a
a bit of a
Nautilus.
thing.
This is what we needed. The first real engaged support of the day, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah,
we needed that Nautilus. I'd love to see the Draven. I want to see something, something. I don't want to see a Morgana now, right?
Nah,
not
nothing
something
for-
like that.
I think they have to go.
I want to
mean,
go fucking
into a
full all in or
Nautilus,
nothing.
It could be a Braum, but even then, Braum Draven is not too good.
Mhm.
Could be probably not a Thresh or anything. It is very tough to play into Nautilus. We might see like a Rakan coming through.
Not the Sivir. Not the Sivir.
A Samara?
Not the
I saw the
Sivir.
Samara hover for a second.
Nautilus
Israel is okay, it's not
Israel.
too bad.
But do you? Israel
Ooh,
Draven.
and a Kane lock-in straight away. Looking,
It's the insta lock.
it is.
We did talk about Kane, behind the scenes a lot today, but this is the first time it's actually truly been whipped out.
Yeah,
And the Braum
it is
Draven, you
Braum,
call
yeah.
it.
So Nautilus,
Of course,
It's part
Braum
of
into
the-
Nautilus Israel, beautiful pick, right? Sure, it doesn't have the greatest synergy between Draven and Braum, but does that really matter when that single support can take out Nautilus and Israel alone in terms of their agency and laning phase?
most definitely. And here we might see an answer to this Kane. Something in the jungle, perhaps. A Lilia pick is very
I do like the
interesting
Lilia
here.
pick.
There are quite a few angles for VA USA here. There are
mhm.
a lot of different playstyles in their drafts so
Yep.
far. So it is interesting to see what they ban next. They're looking for top and mid bans. So Perhaps AP top, AP mid as well, already with this Draven Kane. Definitely AP is a higher priority. And they're looking to ban a Darius. It's very interesting.
You know, I think you know, there's a lot of top laners banned, right? Olaf has played more top lane than the jungle now. You know, a Zed ban as well. I think we're gonna see some crazy solo lane action in today's game here. You know, all these big ego champs, right? You know, Zed, the Aurelia, the Darius, not the Olaf though, but these picks that, like, you know, solo laners love to play. You know, it's something that every couple like an Aatrox as well. It's these ego picks that they're all banning out, because I think everyone here just wants that fun, you know, duking it out top lane, mid lane. I think that's what we're gonna start leading towards here, looking at the champ pools of these players and what's getting banned out here. Ooh, the Scion.
Interesting.
You know, I think I'm interested. I'm interested what they're gonna pick. I want to see the Yasuo. You know, I want to see a Yasuo. I don't want to see something like an Orianna, right?
Unfortunately, it might. I think VA USA does seem to be leaning more towards a neutralizing lane here, something that can scale, perhaps an Ornn or something coming through, and then maybe a high damage carry mid lane here.
Yeah,
something like that definitely, especially with these bans in the top lane. I mean,
and the Yorick. You don't see that too often, and an Ahri insta hover. I don't know how well Ari's gonna do, you know, because right again here, you know, Draven is a feast of famine champ. If he doesn't win lane hard, he won't do anything for the rest of the game. And just the fact that, you know, if the Draven fails, your only source of damage being a Kayn Ahri is, you know, good luck with that. You know, I think WDCC really need to pick a high damaging top laner here. But really, what do you really have left into a Yorick? You know, you banned yourself an Aurelia into the Yorick. You low-key you low-key gave them a Yorick pick for free, and you don't have a good response to it.
Well, Ahri, I mean, did just get buffed. She does have a lot more survivability now, especially with that flat healing off of early game passives. And even if Draven isn't able to get that, again, threatening an Ahri roam or something, especially like level 8, level 9, once she's able to start one-shotting the wave with the Qs or 2 Qs to clear the whole wave, it might be a little bit... Mel coming through. A lot of poke in this mid lane. Might be hard for Ahri to play, but Mel damage is quite low in the early game. She is very hard to... very easy to punish, I'd say. Especially with, like, I mean, her W doesn't do too much. I guess a RE charm could be blocked, maybe a Q. But into that Kayn, there are... it is quite dangerous for her still to be walking up in this lane. So it is very interesting to see how this will play out.
I think the biggest issue that I see is just WDCC. It's just the lack of damage, right? Because it feels. I think the damage they have is very low. You know, it's going to be difficult here, but I think it's time for us to move on to, you know, the pre-game interview, and we'll get back to you guys for the game afterwards.
Welcome back to the Interclub Esports Championships 2025 interview room. I'm here again with Mr. Brandon Yip, the Yip Man.
The Yip Man, yeah.
The Yip Man. And with
Ben
from AUEC. Let's go. Now, shout out to Indomie once again for sponsoring Interclub Esports Championships 2025. Now, after looking at the drafts, what are your thoughts for this game?
I think WDCC have a, you know, better team overall. But, you know, let's see what this Vietnamese side can do, you know. In the international scene, bro, game time. Let's see if Vietnam can have a miracle.
Let's see that Vietnamese miracle. Now, Ben, what are your thoughts on these drafts?
I'm thinking the same thing, you know, we've got like a variety, a real variety, stuff I've never really seen put together in the same pick. But despite that, I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Awesome. Now, overall, what do you guys think about this game? Like, who's going to win?
You know, if I was a betting man, you know, I'd put all my money on WDCC.
WDCC?
I'd say WDCC.
We'll see how it goes. Back to you.
Alrighty. Well, hearing that, I mean, I might be leaning a little bit towards VA USA here. I mean, GAM notoriously, I mean, not the best team, but always underdogs, and they've been doing quite well lately in the international stages as well. I mean, like GAM, like Kiaya, always been one of the favorite players of mine. So yeah, definitely looking forward. Vietnam represent here.
Yeah, and I'm also taking VA USA because we are beefing with the interview team at the moment, so I have to be disagreeing with them. I'm not going to side with whatever team they chose, so obviously I'm also going with the VA USA. Yeah, interesting game. I like how every single game has a different flavor of draft, except the bot lane. But this time it's actually different for once. You know, it's actually a fighting bot lane. We managed to get that Nautilus. You know, we managed to get that engaged fighting that, you know, the Draven, and that's actually a change for once. And hopefully we don't see a Cull being bought ever again for the rest of this tournament. So
I mean, hopefully we get to see some fighting in the bot lane, but I do believe this Nautilus will just be trying to neutralize that lane, especially with an Israel. It is very hard for them to fight, at least until that Israel gets the sheen. But if they are able to get that early lead, you might see a Fiesta in the bot lane. We'll see some 3v3s. If Ari's able to get some roams, maybe even a 4v4 down in the bot lane, a minute 10, minute 15-ish. Yeah.
I think it's the Braum as well, right? I think the Braum, you know, the Braum is a correct answer to an Israel Nautilus. But how easy is it really for, you know, WDCC to be able to proc that Braum passive, right?
Yeah.
It's looking interesting. You know, I'm interested in what the Braum can achieve because, you know, sure, Braum is good at neutralizing, but he has his value mainly through also his passive, right?
Yeah.
But it gets difficult when the champion, your main way to proc the passive is playing Draven, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna be. I'm interested to see how the synergy will work. I'm sure, you know, they've at least thought about it before they locked Braum in, and I'm sure that they have something in mind, and I'm sure it should work. It will work, and I believe that it will be a competitive, good, entertaining game.
I mean, yeah, I definitely would have. I definitely think that maybe something like a Rel would have run a little bit better as well. I mean, like, yeah, of course, Braum into Nautilus. It's a very good matchup, but again, thinking about the Draven, thinking about like how well you can secure those kills with that. Like Braum doesn't have that gap close, he doesn't have that hard CC straight away. It's only a slow on a Q and then the stun if you can proc those 4 autos. But again, very, very hard to reach, especially with Draven, especially with how easy it is for Israel to kite with that E, with and again Nautilus hook on the wall. Like he can run away very easily. So very tough for them to close that gap early game.
I think the key matchup to watch for this game will be the mid lane. You know, a diamond mid laner and a diamond mid laner for VA USA and a plat mid laner for WDCC. I think that's the most competitive lane that we will be seeing today. The most impactful lane, of course, Ari and the Mel. Yes, the Mel doesn't have crazy agency in the early game, but you know, it's crazy what high level players can make use of certain champions in the early game. And of course, you know, Ari, it's the face of league at one point, right? She has everything in her kit, a lot of playmaking potential, a decent carry potential, right? So I'm interested in what the mid lane can achieve this game today.
If that Mel can get fed, it is a lot of tanks for her to stack up on this game. So we might see some like 300, 400 HP executes in the late game, maybe like 30, 40 stacks if she does get to that point. Get enough haste, get enough stacks, then everything gets taken over by her. I mean, again, there's a reason why she's very weak in the early game, because she does get so oppressive later. She does have that high damage, high range, especially with that interaction with like Comet and stuff, where each Q tick will reduce that Comet cooldown. Like, it will be very, very scary for them to play.
So now we'll hop in game here, and let's check it out. Let's check out game 4 today.
Alrighty. Again, looking in to hover the invade here.
Oh,
I don't think it is a very good idea to invade into that Braum.
WDCC looking for that bush stack in the bot lane, and VA USA looking for bush stack in the top lane. You know, I guess nothing exciting is happening. No team's looking for anything greedy. No team's looking here to mess around. You know, everyone's just playing it safe, holding the jungles. You know, I know you're a bit of a support player, right? How do you find playing Braum or into Nautilus or Nautilus into Braum?
Again, it's definitely different with a Draven on the side now, because you do want that early pressure. You do want to be able to find that cash out at some point. And we look, Charm comes through,
and it's just dead. So much damage. But it is the first blood to the Braum, which could have been given to the Kayn, the Ari, or the Draven.
And now Ari is forced to start lane with E. So she does lack that early game wave clear, no W start, no move speed. She will get poked down because of that.
Yep. The ping goes through from VA USA that Kayn is starting chickens, but that is actually mistaken.
Yeah, we start to see the poke come through, even though it's just that E is such a huge hitbox. Like it is very hard to dodge.
Yeah.
A lot of Mal's abilities, you have the preemptively dodge on this. Alright, in the bot lane here, like I was saying before, Braum into Nautilus is fairly easy to play, but it depends whether you want to neutralize the lane, you want to stop his engage from being as potent, or whether you want to be able to look for those kills, because it is, again, very difficult to gap close, like we've been saying. Very difficult to force something to happen unless they engage on you first. And looking at an Ezreal Nautilus, they have no reason to engage. They want to farm, they want to chill, they want to just let Draven do his thing. Level 2 does come through.
Draven playing quite aggressive there. Of course, those auto tags always nice. You know, also catching the axes, just basically generating gold for Draven. You know, this matchup for Ornn in the top lane into Yorick, it's going to be quite annoying. You know, of course, Ornn does probably come out on top on the Yorick until the Yorick hits level 6 when everything changes. Right, when that Maiden's always around, walking around, just another target to hit, another punishment for getting hit by the E.
We do see a lot of grass borders being weaved in from Slag here, so the damage is coming through a little bit, and a lot of people like underestimate how strong Ornn is in the early game. Despite his very strong like late game with all that gold value on the Ornn items, he does have a lot of base damage, a lot of percentage damage in the early game, which can trip through HP bars.
Kayn pathing top lane here and Lilia pathing bot. I'm interested that Kayn isn't playing towards this Draven and he chooses to path upwards. Maybe he's here to play his own game. He's here to make himself the carry here. I'm interested in what the Kayn is truly here for, but
looking at the runes, looking at the green smite, it does look like Kayn does want to get down here.
The stun on the Israel, and there's a lot of damage coming out from the Draven. He catches X after X, and the Israel already goes down. The Nautilus
stun comes through,
but there's not enough damage for the Nautilus. The Nautilus just walks out, and the flash comes out from the Yorick at the same time.
Both sides, bot and top, getting dominated by WDCC here. Yeah, Yorick unable to walk back in now. He's low on mana, low on HP. As soon as like Ornn lands a QE on him, QEW auto, that Yorick will
goodbye. It's just not a situation you want to ever be in. Lilia eased down the bot lane and reveals herself that she is in the bot lane, of course. Wow, what a great play from Draven. Like I said earlier, Draven needed to get fed here. He needed to ensure that he had damage for his team, and a beautiful play from the Braum. Managed to hit the Q and being able to walk up for those 2 auto attacks on Ezreal. You know, Ezreal surprisingly didn't burn barrier or flash, which I have to respect because I seriously don't think it would have made much of a change.
Yeah. Definitely. Even if he does burn barrier and flash and lives, then he's down barrier flash for the rest of the lane for another 5 minutes. It does become very impossible for him to play. Then he can get zoned very, very easily from. I mean, like that Braum just he can threaten so much just by sitting in a bush there. Ezreal's not allowed to walk in, and again his Qs won't do too much damage, especially with the Terra Star or even just the Doran's Blade. Like he has no damage items. A wave does look to be stacking up on the bot side towards pushing towards WDCC here.
Of course, Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. Kayn is bot side for this Dragon. I think it's very doable considering that Draven does have the Serrated Dirk 5 minutes in, right? It's such a big spike for Draven in the early game, and he's already had it at 5 minutes, so incredible. It almost feels like it's a lost lane for Israel and Nautilus.
Very interesting to see a pink ward buy from this Draven as well. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I think Vision is king, right?
Vision is king, but on a champion like Draven, like I feel like that 75 gold, especially if you're buying multiple throughout the game, could end up making a difference. He does go wide on the Ornn here. He tanks a Q for that. Mistake.
He does.
Lilia is looking. Perhaps they're looking for a dive here. I mean, they are just giving the drag away. Lilia is looking to invade the top side.
I don't know if Nautilus should be there. It's.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do much about this. 3v1 Nautilus on the top side.
Eternal Flame, just
big knockup.
Top side jump.
Again,
I have met Eternal Flame a couple times in solo queue before. You know, it's a familiar name to me. Didn't think I'd see him here today, but yeah, great to see some familiar names. You know.
Yeah.
It's I'm interested in what he can do because I know he's a great player. Yeah, so honestly, you know, it's with Lilia as well. There's so much potential in terms of what you can do in a team fight, especially when you have that Mal, right? Do you know if the Mal Q actually pops Lilia or is counted as Dawn?
I'm not too sure actually. I believe it is. That is interesting. I guess we'll have to find out when that Lilia does hit level 6.
But yeah, there's these combinations that we just haven't thought about at all, and I just came up with it now. But yeah, the Lilia and damage over time thing, it's crazy because you know, burns don't wake them up, right? And you can deal so much damage while they're sleeping.
Oh, and the root does land from Mel, forcing out the Ahri ult. Spirit Rush goes through. He has to use the rest of the charges to get away from lane.
This is bad for Yorick. Oh no, it's
Ornn
fumbled!
goes wide. Shouldn't matter
This
here,
might be a
though.
2v1 for Yorick! Yorick needs to hit the E!
Flash comes through from Swag. Lots of orbs for Kane here as well. Despite the misplays, just the numbers advantage does win him out on the top lane there.
That was a bit of a misplay from the Ornn, but thankfully he had his jungler to come out and help him out, and I guess that's why he was even in that position to begin with, right? He was willing to make that risk. Oh, Draven already, you know, he decided to not finish that collector. He decided to go towards that BT, which I do like, right? Because it's Ezreal. You know, if Ezreal doesn't want to fight you, you can't make him to fight, especially when it's a Braum. And I think just playing it safe, like, you know, just knowing that you're not going to get 20 more kills from laning phase anymore. Let's just drop the ego, build the Bloodthirster. I think that's a great choice.
And now does pocket the reflect there.
Yeah, it's quite a long
no
cooldown
jungler nearby though, so I don't think any capitalization will be made off that.
Grubs is coming up here. I think you can comment on this if you want, but I'm pretty sure every single team that has managed to secure the majority of Grubs so far in these games has taken the W home.
This is true.
So
even, especially in this game, with that Yorick, you definitely do want to be looking for those Grubs.
It's a bit of a Grubs curse. You know, whoever doesn't get Grubs, you're cursed to lose. You know, we'll truly see if that theory is correct today.
If you are able to get those 3 Grubs on Yorick, that split push will be very, very scary.
This Nautilus is coming up too. This might be a 3v3 collapse on the Grubs. No, but
2 of them are already gone. They're late to the fight.
The charm hits, but the Lily can get a 3-man ult here. 2-man ult coming out from the Lily. They're all asleep. They're all asleep. Now the Lily W connects. And the Mal all comes through. And the Braum is completely removed from the game. The Ahri does have to flash. But the Rook... Oh my goodness. But I think we do notice that the Mal Q does not wake people up from the Lilia ult.
Definitely, yeah. It is a 3, I believe, 7 stacks on Mel for that. If you are able to land the ult, then it is a very interesting interaction. It will be very powerful later on. I don't know if the players thought about that when they were dropping this comp, but if they did, then it is very, very impressive.
See, Draven has been left, you know, in lane, right, for quite a long time. I'm wondering how many stacks he has, you know, how much his next cash out is. Because at this rate, you know, his next kill could be worth $500 grand, right?
Oh, well, he is only on 25 stacks.
25 stacks. This guy shouldn't be on Draven. Yeah, moving on. Dragon's coming up in at a minute and 26. Lilia pathing bot side. This Ornn is looking very dangerous right now. Of course, Yorick ult coming up soon as well. Once that ult comes up, that tower's going down. I think this mid lane is, you know, we said it was important, but I said it was the hot matchup, but I didn't think this Ahri would be losing to this Mal this hard, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I assume that, you know, in those mid-game skirmishes, Ahri would have more value.
Again, if you don't know like how to play into the Mal matchup, it is very, very oppressive. Those Qs, even though they don't do too much damage, it just feels really, really hard getting hit by them, especially because they are just basically undodgeable unless the Mal misses. So yeah, the damage coming through is very rough to play around, but Ahri now, especially being a level down, is quite scary. TP does come in through top. Ornn does come through. Lockup lands with the Brittle Proc. That's 3 Brittle Procs on the Yorick here.
Yorick does have flash.
Perhaps one more Grass Water will kill. Flash comes out from Yorick.
This might be bad for the Draven. The Braum's locked up. But the 2-man ult, the Draven gets a shutdown. He got the cash out. That's all they needed. The flash comes out from the Draven. The Lily's one proc away from the stun. The Ahri
like he wants to play this.
Lily is dead. She doesn't have enough damage. They're both out of mana. Everyone's out of mana.
He doesn't get the cash out. They're all dying. Draven still does have barrier. It is possible for him to go for this dive if he does want that cash out. Yeah. Kane looking to clean up this mid wave here. Going to take a lot of damage from that now.
It is the red Kane option that we are seeing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stacks from that top lane fight earlier. He has finished his form already at 10 minutes. So Lilia E does come through to bot lane, stopping the backs a little bit.
If the Kane dies here, this is really bad. Kane gets an Ombo trespass, and down goes the Mal. Kill goes over to the Ahri. Yeah. Great for the Ahri here.
Overstayed a lot.
That offers the Ahri a little bit of a way to come back into this lane that she was kind of struggling in. No, it's amazing that Draven managed to get that safe recall off as well.
It does, yeah.
Was a bit greedy there looking for the plating, but it did pay off.
Again, Dragon coming up now. Lily and Kane both bot side. Ping's coming through, looking to start the dragon, but there is a pink. So WDCC is aware of the fact that they are starting this. Raven walking back into lane. Wave is crashed though, so he might have to try to shove this back out before he is able to move.
Ooh, the E lands on the. Look how much damage that does. This Ornn, it's he has so much HP, but look how fast it disappears from one Yorkie. Ornn is no cooldowns, he can't be there.
Again, these brittle procs do a lot of damage as well, but just with this Maiden constantly hitting this Ornn, he is unable to get away.
And remember, when the Maiden is attacking the same target as Yorick, she's pumping out massive amounts of percentage health, max AP damage, right? And Yorick is looking to build, you know, he has, I don't know what exactly he's building, but he's stacking a bunch of health, and he's seeing the true pain of that by getting punished through Yorick's damage.
And Swag here just...
Oh, but a 3v2 on the bot lane.
Tested.
Wait, a double man sleep, but Braum blocked the sleep for the Draven. Draven gets one. He's walking upwards. He misses the axe. He only has one. There won't be enough damage.
What a shield from Braum again.
Now there's two. Ezra can't be there. The chrono shift comes out. Ezra. The Mal is walking down bot. The Draven is completely clueless about this. Mal does have all
here. We'll see if the E comes through. Braum is unable to block it. Stacks are starting to land on this Draven.
And the Draven gets shut down.
And at least Mel dies, but these kills going to Braum aren't doing too much for WDCC here. Ari looking to clean up maybe. Perhaps she could get onto the Ezreal here. She does have the Spirit Rush available, but Nautilus is coming back in. Hook goes wide. Meanwhile, while that was happening, Kane does manage to pick up the Yorick on the top side there. Again, a big kill, especially for Kane. Finishing the Voltaic there is huge. A lot of gap close, a lot of slow. Provides so much utility for Kane there.
This game is definitely one of the, you know, the bloody games that we've had so far, you know.
Definitely.
With so many things happening around cross map, I don't think we've had a single fight where it was alone, you know. If someone's fighting the bot lane, someone else is at the top of mid, you know. It's a constant fighting, and these are the games that we truly want here, you know. We don't want that silver smolder, and that's why I'm so thankful that this man decided to pick Draven first.
Raven now finishing his BT, looking to move on to the end of that collector there, grabbing a pickaxe as well. He is still quite far ahead of this Ezreal. 4 kills up, and especially with this passive, so much gold. There's roughly probably almost 2,000 or so gold in the lead here.
And I love how this Braum is, you know, utilizing a shield. Of course it's useful damage, but it's also blocking projectiles. And in that bot lane fight earlier, he did use his shield to block the Lilia ult, which is why the whole fight was even fightable until the Mal had to come down, right?
And the charm does land. What?
This Ari damage
crazy amount of damage.
Ari does have Spirit Rush, but it won't be enough.
Through. Again, she could look to dash in back on the Ezreal here, throw out a charm, see if it lands, see if she can pick up a kill. Still sitting on those 2 charges. Again, if Ezreal decides to misstep a little bit.
Ari with that innate passive, that does give her the heal over time. Can stay in lane for a long time.
Throwing out a Q. Unfortunately, does go wide here. Could have been a kill for
the Draven
here. Playing very aggressive, but the reflex pushing back the stand aside back to the Draven and the Braum. And again, just like what we've seen before.
He hits the ult
again,
time.
The ult coming through with the Kane, spelling certain death for this Yorick in the top lane.
That's 1 for 2, right? Well, 1 for 2 for
2 for 3.
2 for 3. Yeah. Okay, we'll give credits where it's due. 2 for 3 for the on this game. And I think off that, the Kane does grab himself a Rift Herald for free. You know, no GST.
It is looking very up for WDCC, despite some sketchy fights here and there. I mean, with this Draven, with this gold lead, with how much control they have over objectives right now, it does look quite good for them. Top lane tower does go down to Swag, and as she's getting close to level, I believe it is 13 when she can start.
13?
For masterwork items? What is it?
Oh, for yes.
Yeah.
At 13 he at 12 he gets one from, no, he's 13 he gets one for himself, and then you can start upgrading.
Yeah. And again, it's just like another time. It's 1,000 gold per item, per level. Those levels become more and more expensive for the AUSA to deal with.
And especially, you know, champions that benefit so much of stats, right? Because Draven, he doesn't really have much. He only needs bonus AD. That's all he really wants. And all just being able to add more to that is so much value.
Eternal Flame is hovering here while the Kane is going for a recoil. If they look to be resetting on the map here for this dragon coming up in 40 seconds. I mean,
does he get
Draven 100% finishes the collector here, right? There we go.
But
and
not the
not the tier 2 boots, but that should be fine for now. I mean, with the W move speed, he does get enough to catch up to people.
Now my question is, are we going to see the Ornn look to fight bot, or is he just going to keep matching the Yorick in the top lane?
I think it definitely depends on whether or not this fight happens before Ornn gets his ult or not. I mean, Yorick does get it back here, so he could free walk down, especially with there being no tier 1 tower up top anymore. This wave does have to push a lot further to get on the tower now.
I think, you know, the theory of whoever gets the majority of grubs wins the game is... it might be the truth, you know? It might be the truth.
It might be, yeah.
And we might have to keep that in mind for future games, and the teams should keep that in mind for future games that we see later today and tomorrow. Kane already on Dragons all alone, completely isolated from his team.
This is very dangerous.
He can't be
Three of
here.
them are pinching onto him. But again, it's okay. He is Kane. He has that ability to just walk through the wall, walk around. He has so much sustain. It is a fine choice for him to do.
Oh, TP from the Mal. This looks very winnable for VA USA.
Kane is taking some poke here, getting those stacks up. Flashes over
and
the wall.
And the steal, but it doesn't come through.
Doesn't.
The depth charge, but the two-man knockup from the Kane. The Ezreal shifts away. It's not enough. The Draven's running down.
does land on the Mel. He has stacks on the Nautilus. Stun comes through.
The sleep on the Kane. Lilia, you can't be using your sleep for a disengage. That's how you know the fight was just such a bad fight to take. You're duking it out with the
barrier.
Ornn ult goes through, but this Yorick's too much damage. Your HP means nothing into a Yorick, and this Mel's going down. But the reverse on the W of the Mel. How much value can that ability bring?
And forcing out the Draven barrier there as well is huge. Again, if they are able to shut this man down before he cashes out, I mean, he should be sitting on quite a few stacks, hopefully. I mean, he was on 20 just earlier after quite a bit, but it's been quite a while before he's since he's done.
What is the Ornn up to? Report the Ornn! Report the Ornn! What is he doing?
Hopefully they aren't able to get that tier 2 there, but
they heard me saying if you get grubs, you win. And they said they wanted to disprove my theory, and they ran it down in 2 fights.
Alrighty. We do have Arakan coming up here in 2 minutes. They are looking to look for the Scuttle Crab here, looking for that topside vision. Again, Draven looking for stacks. If he is able to get this cash out, again, very scary.
I think Draven really needed that cash out. He was so close to a cash out last fight.
But he still hasn't died yet, so he's still holding on to those stacks very well. Again, change they added a while ago, but you know, with the cash outs, he is able to get and execute the more stacks he is.
On his ultimate.
Yes. So, I mean, ooh.
I don't think the Braum
does
die
get
here,
caught here, but I don't think he
dies,
dies, especially with that W coming through.
Mal whiffs the root.
One auto chunking him a lot. If this Draven is able to complete that stun, I think someone's surely dying.
The power. The Braum tanks so much, yet he only loses so little HP, but one auto attack on the Mal, and Mal's 60%.
That is just that Guardian, and it is long cooldown for a reason. Very strong ability.
Unbelievable value on that.
As Ari is looking mid now as well. Oh, TP comes through bot. We might see another Ornn ult come through. Comes through after the flash. Very good timing. Mock-up lands this time. But again, this Maiden is just eating away at this at the Kane.
If this Ornn loses, he has to retire.
Thundered Sky healing. Lands the E on the edge of the
Kane has to be careful. Oh,
does manage to get through. And then Maiden dies here. Very good.
Ooh, nice block on the Braum.
Ornn regains control of the side.
There should be tower gone. You know, they have 2. Depth charge comes from Nautilus, but it doesn't mean anything. And he hooks a cannon minion. That was on purpose, I'm sure.
But look at this. They saw the Kane on the bot side and they decide to start Arakan. There's nobody there to contest it. Nothing there to stop them.
Beautiful decision making from Eternal Flame. This is why I love this man. That's why he is my greatest jungler. You know, getting the Arakan for the team. And you know, Arakan throughout this whole series has been that one objective that everyone was scared to start, right? But they just got a one more way for free, you know?
He still has that one charge left on the Spirit Rush. Let's see if she doesn't decide to do anything with it. And again, well, they traded the Arakan, but he is at least eating up this entire bot side jungle for VA USA here, trying to salvage what he can before this dragon spawns in 1 minute 30. Let's see, the back's coming through soon as each team decides to start moving down and grab some vision, grab some control, grab some space to play around. Again, very difficult for VA USA to enter, especially against this Draven. Each auto attack, especially just because of how unconditional they are, if you walk into an auto range, you're guaranteed to lose a chunk of your HP bar.
And don't even get me started if it crits with that 25% chance on.
Yeah, on that collector. If Ezreal eats a crit, if he eats 2 autos,
recall time.
Very rough. Alright.
Dragon's coming up in a
Yeah,
minute.
both teams just deciding to go for a full reset here. Most of
as
the
well,
waves
yeah.
are pretty even. I mean, WDCC will be first back on the map here. Brom looking to get into the jungle, getting some wards. They're pinging onto the dragons now.
It'll be a nice dragon fight. You know, everyone's cooldowns are up. Everyone will have all the flashes, the summoner spells, the ultimates for this fight. I think the person to watch for this team fight will have to be that Lilia, right?
Yeah, if he is able to land a big sleep, then
it's the Lilia, it's the Ornn, or maybe even the Kayn, because I've been loving how the Kayn's been playing, how he approaches these fights recently, you know, in and out, hitting it from the weirdest angles. I like how this Kayn's approaching it, and I'm also, you know, I think we should also be looking at this Kayn and this team fight alongside the Lilia. It's just the battle of the junglers, right?
very interesting bio of a Bramble Vest from the Nautilus. I mean, there is a lot of healing, but again, Bramble Vest I just feel like is not the greatest anti-heal item out there. It is so conditional. It depends on whether or not they're either the Kayn or even the Draven is hitting you. And of course, with someone like Nautilus, I mean, maybe the Draven will be forced to auto attack you. But again, Kayn, who can just jump on your backline. Surely it is not that useful.
Death charge on the Braum.
Very interesting.
Trisha Farage hits 3, which is great. The auto is coming through, but the Mal W blocks it.
What a crazy ability.
Lily still has Q flash ult possibility. She can look for it. She has to start looking now. The ult does come from the Lilia. And the shutdown, that's what they needed. This Draven's completely out of the fight. He's so disconnected from his team. He's alive, but for what? The whole backline's dead. The flash comes out from the Mal, but the Kayn follows through. Mal W's all the damage. It's 3-man knocker from Kayn. Kayn gets 1. He just needs 1 more. He gets 2.
To Kayn. Does he get more? He's chasing them down, walking to the side. Perhaps an E comes through the wall here, letting them go through. But again, huge knockup from Kayn. Again, with that W healing, especially on red Kayn. The more targets you hit, the more you heal. It is quite a game changer there, especially if you are able to land them on the enemies lined up like that.
What a beautifully well played team fight from there. You know, usually when you're ult and you're like, you know, traveling using someone and they flash, the disposition can really throw you off. But he perfectly capitalized being given free backline access through the Mal flashing backwards. What beautifully played. And this Yorick just gives away a free kill, but he does trade the 2 towers for it, I believe. So I think that was not even that bad of a trade. And of course, Brand up in a minute with the bot lane side opened up in the base is very alarming, especially when they have a Yorick on the enemy team with TP up.
And Ornn's starting to get these masterwork items up. Definitely has the Heartsteel for himself now. Just waiting on level 14 for the next one. Probably going to Draven or maybe even Kayn here. I mean, just about that last fight. I mean, they're definitely thinking about that Mel reflect a lot more now. Something like an Ornal getting stopped by a cooldown like that.
Yeah, I didn't even consider it.
Yeah, it's definitely on their mind now. Something they'll have to watch out for. I mean, the amount of value that one champion can get from that ability. Dodges the Kayn ult damage, even though it doesn't reflect, but I mean, dodging the Kayn ult damage, sending the whole Ornar back at the enemy team. That is a huge game changer there.
You know, an interesting buy from Draven, the QSS buy, of course. It's useful for the Nautilus. It's useful for the Mal route, but I think most value will come from the Lilia sleep, because it's something that's the Lilia sleep. You see it from a mile away, right? You can tell when she's gonna ult. Even when she ults, you have so much time to react to it. And I think having that QSS will be truly useful.
And even just the pure stats, the MR that you get into that Mal, into that Lilia, as the team fight starts to break out. Again, Mal pops ult early, but we don't get the ult recast from Ornn. Nautilus just dies down. Spirit Rush comes through. Charm lands. What a beautiful charm. And Observer. Ezreal does seem to E away. They take 2 down for free, and it looks like a free Baron for the side of WDCC here. AUEC looking to push down mid, trying to take the tower with them.
I think the best option for AUEC here is just look for mid tier 1 and tier 2 towers, you know. Cheeky Constellation Prize, Trisha Farage coming out on the Baron just to reveal them for a bit, but there's still 3 people looking to stop them from taking tower.
Trying to look at this tower, but it is a very risky play.
This is a losing fight for WDCC. I don't think they should do this.
Ornn popping the W, very interesting. I mean,
Yorick just dies for the tower and they don't even get the tower. Israel, 1 more auto attack on the tower, man. Why so scared? It looks like they do back off though, and now it's back to the state from before those skirmishes, but you know, AUEC got nothing out of that, while I feel like WDCC came out with 3 kills and 0 death from those exchanges. It wasn't an exchange, it was a robbery. They just robbed all of AUEC's pockets, and this dragon, it looks such a difficult fight for AUEC.
I mean, even then though, looking at the scoreboard, looking at everything right now, despite how ahead they feel, I mean, it's only a 5k gold lead. It is definitely still playable, especially if one of them makes a misstep, one of them gets picked or something, especially this Draven. I mean, a lot of the damage just goes away. I don't think Kane can get picked that easily, considering how much healing he has, but even then, like, one mistake, they are going quite deep here. Even though they have the vision, it is quite scary still sometimes.
Yeah.
And like this Yorick, despite being 1 and 6, I mean, he's gotten so much gold just from side lane towers that he's gotten 700 from 2 inners, or sorry, one tier 2. And then he picked up an inhib tower for himself as well. They recently buffed those earlier this year to just give a little bit more gold. He's not even that far behind. Both of them, he's still up items compared to this Ornn as well.
I think another big thing we should look at is that this Draven is getting IE soon, and he has gotten his Bloodthirst upgraded. That means it's so much more gold, so much more value coming out of his items. On top of the gold, he's already gotten from his passive. So this Draven, despite feeling, you know, it feels like he's not doing much in these team fights, but it's just such another factor that VA USA has to watch out for, that they can't spend that time, you know, looking out for, like, you know, the Ahri ult charm that we saw in the top lane red buff, or just even the Kane looking for a flank.
And he does cash out there, 664 gold on
Beautiful
that.
Zhonya's from the Ahri, and they're running away.
Yeah, charm lands, everything is just going down. I mean, a huge cash out for Draven there. Would have been, what, 600 gold, so that would have been like around 100 stacks or so right there, cashed out.
Like 150,
yeah.
150. Of course, that also secures Kane the Dragon. That will be putting WDCC on Soul Point, but, you know, just I feel like they don't have much wave clear via USA. You know, there's an argument for Yorick's wave clear, but is he really going to be clearing Baron empowered minions from 2 screens away? Yorick is looking for the flank
here.
Of course, but the issue is that Yorick's flanks aren't exactly quick. It's damage over time, and that gives time for the Kane to rotate in here. Draven's running forward, but the deflict from the Mal already comes through. The Draven's just about to get popped. The Draven flashes away. The Kane's here for the Draven now. The Yorick's get popped. The Ezreal's been popped as well. Everyone's just getting one
trying to walk away, but the Umble Trespass coming through. Again, the
Yorick is
they don't have enough anti-heal for this Kane here. At least not on the Yorick, which fair enough, but only having anti-heal on that Nautilus is definitely going to be a problem. Looking to probably get a Morello at least on Mel or on Lilia here. As we see, Lilia does have a Grievous, have an Oblivion Orb now, so they are looking to answer this, but still, very, very scary. A little bit of a skirmish here on the Scuttle. It does go to the side of VA USA.
Baron coming up in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They are all leading towards top. Of course, it is a little bit early, but they probably should be starting to look to start setting up wards. You know, start getting that setup done, because, you know, having wards now does actually carry over into having wards later on for this actual Baron fight.
I think definitely a mistake maybe going towards actually I do like the idea of having an upgraded Spirit Visage on Kane there. I mean, he does have enough damage just with the % max health again on the W. So having a little bit more survivability could be make or break for him. So it is definitely an interesting choice, at least something that most people wouldn't have thought of.
Is Ezreal looking to finish off his Seraldas? Probably. I think Seraldas will be very important in this battle, but again, it's just there's so much backline access on the team of WDCC, right? In terms of the Kane and the Ornn that just get straight access. And it looks like this Yorick has been picked out. What is this Ornn aiming at?
Does go
the
wide.
Ornn does hit the Lilia though, and the Kane does finish the Lilia.
Going for that the whole time.
The cash out for the Draven, and the Yorick goes down. And Ahri gets another kill, another cheeky gold injection. And to be honest, the Ahri wasn't even close to dying. She had Zhonya's, she had another 2 dashes. That Yorick was just pulling at straws. And looks like the game could be over here through more siege in the bot lane. And of course, Baron coming up in a minute, and having 2 people die a minute before does feel really bad.
They will be back up in time, but again, having to defend this 3v5, especially if it means that you could drop some numbers here right before Baron. Death Charge does come through. Nothing to do with it. Looks like Rollis is just trying to stall, trying to protect his base for as long as possible. But again, Sporn is able to just walk up, see if the E comes through on the pillar. Knockup goes wide.
Ooh, the Storm could have died, but the Q doesn't go through. The Draven's just hitting away the Nautilus from the side, but they execute. The collector wasn't enough. The Draven's tanking too many tower shots.
As they back off, but again, bot inhib is down. these super minions coming through will make it very hard for VA USA to enter onto this Baron pit. They have a wave to look after on the bottom, on the other side of the map, and again, all this damage that's coming through, a lot of, especially in the jungle with these team fights, with the Ornal, with the Kayn, it does become very, very difficult to play.
Yeah, WDCC, of course, recalling to try, get setting up Baron. Baron's up in 10 seconds is important. It looks like Draven chose not to get the recall, and he's running straight back top. I know that he must have had a bit of gold from those fights, so I'm interested in that. Same as Ari, considering she did pick up, I believe, at least one kill that was on the Yorick in that bot lane fights and the duels. And now I'm really interested because I think that VA USA can actually capitalize off this, right? There's no better chance than right now.
It does look like with the Yorick splitting bot, it might just be a test from VA USA here. Blastcone does go away, so it is very hard for Lilia to enter for a steal. He does have that. And again, Baron just goes for free. And Ornal comes through again, huge line in the jungle, but Mal Reflect, always there, always a problem to worry about. Doesn't seem to change too much here though. I mean, despite this Mal poke, she can't seem to finish off any kills. They're not going deep enough for her to do anything.
It just feels so bad watching this Ezreal have to play into, three tanky front lines, right? He has no value when it comes to trying to hit front lines.
Even with the Soroldas now as well. I mean, Soroldas as an item, especially after they made the change that the slow doesn't apply on every ability, it's only when they're under half health. It does make it feel a lot worse.
The stick just isn't there. It's not easier to hit those Qs anymore from a range unless they're low. So it feels really bad. Dragon coming up in 20 seconds.
Healing on the Kayn, on the Ahri, on the Draven as well. Like, it is very rare to find them below half HP unless your entire team decides to burn all their cooldowns onto that team straight away.
It looks VA USA is giving away Mountain Soul for free, which I don't think they have much of a choice, but the value of Mountain Soul, not even the actual ability of the shield itself, of course that has infinite value, but the fact that you're getting so many free resistances on people like Ornn, people like Kayn, and Braum, who already have their ways to get resistances, right? Not Kayn, but Ornn and Braum do. And it's just that those things get so much more value out of it because of the increase of resistance. And the shield is just so powerful into poke like Mel, poke like Ezreal.
Especially because it is percentage. Like things like Ornn as well, percentage resistances on percentage resistances. Braum, who is able to give his resistances to a teammate as well. Like, this Draven will become unbelievably tanky. Look at that shield, especially combined with the Bloodthirster shield on there. So much more HP that they have to burn through before they are able to get a kill.
And the Draven has a lifeline on top of the QSS as well. Yeah. If they want to kill that man, they're going to have to keep him CC till the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just... Every second it looks more and more impossible for VA USA to find a way back into the game. Look at that Demolish proc.
And the Mal seems to be caught. Mal uses the flick, but the Kayn's going to be right on top of her. The Nautilus gets popped. Kayn's looking for it, but Mal flashes away, and somehow only the Nautilus is the victim in that situation. But Draven's super deep. Ezreal separated from the rest of his team. Ari still has two charges of Spirit Rush left, but it looks like they are just looking to disengage, get the inhib, and just play the slow sieging game due to the lack of wave clear from VA USA. Of course, Mal still has a deflect now, so it can be risky. Deflect comes through, but it doesn't matter. Mal gets one shot. Draven is so powerful. Damage, axe after axe. Ari, so much damage coming through. How tanky is Yorick? It doesn't matter. It was a rhetorical question, because he's dead. And now the Lillian's dead. They're all gone. They're all dead.
Ezreal, a nice little fountain dive to end the game. Stacks mark down.
Oh,
and what 2 axes away. Charm lands. A beautiful charm from the Ari there. And it's just not enough. Alright, well, what a game from both VA USA and WDCC here. Both very, it fluctuated quite a bit. There were moments where it looked like VA USA was back in. It looked like moments where WDCC was about to lose. But it just doesn't matter in the end. That Draven, that cash out is inevitable. So, a good thank you to WDCC for an amazing game, for something so exciting to finish off the game here with that Draven pick. And again, thank you to VA USA as well. Of course, they won't be walking away empty-handed, thanks to our sponsors Indomie. And without... Do we have an interview? Alright, and...
Draven, get Draven in here.
Yeah, get the Draven.
I love that Draven.
Alrighty, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh. Wait, is this what's on stream right now? Oh, that's on stream. I'm on stream right now. Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait,
but-
so what's the other input?
that's
Oh.
the But yeah, beautiful game coming out from them there. Quite exciting compared to what we've had. Definitely not anything super farmy, not anything that's playing for a late game stall, but
Mhm.
just very tempo, very high paced.
Yep.
As soon as that first couple of fights came through in the bot lane,
Yep.
was definitely looking forward to how the game would have played out.
It's a big switch up, right? We had that Tanza game where first blood was at 12 minutes, and then we have this game where we had 15 kills at 12 minutes, right? And yeah, I think that's a very nice switch up. Of course, both style of gameplay, both style of games have their own benefits, have their own joy of watching. But I think it was pretty refreshing to get that fast-paced style of game today.
Definitely, and seeing those one shots come through at the end there, that Draven Axe doing half of Mel HP bar, ooh, yeah, definitely lit something back up in my heart again, All right, we're
Yep.
good to go. So
Sweet. We'll pass it over to the
the
losers interview at the interview room, and yeah.
Welcome back, Interclub Esports Championship 2025. We are here with
Brian.
Brian. So, tell me about the game you just played.
I ran it down.
You ran it down.
Yeah. I ran it down.
He ran it down. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Life of a Yorick player, man. I play Yorick. I ran the turret. 5 of them ran at me. Yeah. I dig my own grave. Safe to say.
Well, yeah. What are your thoughts for the remainder of this tournament? Are there any teams we should watch out for?
I would have to say, I might be biased because I'm also part of AUSS. You guys better watch out for their team. They won't be lifting just a weight.
Not just the weights.
Not just the weight.
Not just the weights, but that.
Not just the
trophy,
weight in the
maybe.
gym. Yeah.
Maybe that check. Maybe that championship.
So better keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for AUSS.
That's tough. Before we go, 2 more things. Any personal shout outs you want to make?
Personal shout out. I'd like to shout out for the person who played Kane last game against me. Cause I see you way too much in my life. I hate it. Please stay away from me. Thank you.
And with that, one last thing. What's your favorite Indomie flavor?
Oh, I don't know about flavor, but honestly, I like the blue one.
You like the blue one?
I like the blue one.
You like the blue one? Let's get the blue one. Woo! Hey.
Eat Indomie, guys. It's good.
Eat Indomie. Thank you, Indomie, for sponsoring Interclub Esports Championship 2025. Hey, sometimes in life, you just gotta run it down.
Sometimes you just gotta run it down.
You just gotta run it down.
Hey, for your own enjoyment.
For your own enjoyment. Back to you, commentary desk.
Mean transition. Oh, so yeah, now here with the winners interview, guys. So, Raphael, right?
Yes.
So, you were the Draven.
Yeah.
You were the mastermind that finally decided to take us away from the Smolders and the
Yeah.
Stivers and the boring Cull ADC players.
Mm.
How did you feel? That ego, that power that you felt when you decided to first pick Draven.
Well, they didn't ban it, so I had to go with it.
Yeah, so you have to show them what's up.
Yeah.
I love it. How does it feel that you won the game and you'll be playing again soon?
Feels good. We know who we're up against, and it'll be a very entertaining match.
Do you have a message for them? Do you know, or maybe for the enemy ADC?
Watch out.
Maybe they should ban Draven, right?
Nah.
You don't think so?
They shouldn't.
Okay, so I have another one. Of course, a question from our sponsors this time. What's your favorite Indomie flavor?
The blue one.
The blue one?
Yes.
Well, you can take this home with you.
Thank you.
Because you did come here for the interview today. And yeah, I think we'll now go over to our break now.
Oh, let's look at Tanza now. They have the lizard from Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they do. They have the lizard from Spider-Man.
They have Iron Man. They also
lady's
have,
called?
that's Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
How about this guy?
That looks like looks like Thor, but when he was like.
That's Justin Bieber.
Oh, should have known.
Yeah.
This guy's Omen. Valorant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, excuse me. Guess what IEEE stands for?
What? I don't know. International Electrical Engineering Enterprise.
Guess what IEEE stands for?
I don't know. Institute of E-Dating and E-Relationships?
Guess what IEEE stands for?
IEEE. I stands for idiot. Ooh. Electronics Engineering E. Is that good enough?
Guess what IEEE stands for?
Interclub Esports entry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Interclub Esports. Watch Interclub Esports.
Yeah, watch IEEE swing the competition.
Yeah, ready?
Thank you guys.
Will you marry me?
Of course.
Stop filming me! Don't record me! Don't record me!
It's so damn hard
Go.
stay inside my vehicle. I can drive wherever. Let's go. Your smile is my antidote.
Hey guys, welcome back after the break. There's a lot of stuff to cover here. So there was a game played off stream between AUEC and AUSS. AUSS did manage to come on top, so they will be going through to play against Tanza. Currently, we have UOACS playing against WDCC, the previous game that was played on stream's winner. And yeah, it should be a great game. UOACS, probably the favorite to win this tournament. You know, it's a classic five stack. It's the names we've seen over and over again. Make it to the finals, win the finals. They unfortunately did lose the finals last time around, but they had to redeem themselves. And yeah, and the players are probably back better than ever. So yeah, let's get right into the draft.
Already with the bans, unfortunately, I do see a Draven ban coming through. I was really excited to see another Draven game, especially against Dante. Like, I don't know, it seems a little bit insecure from him.
Dante,
rank one ADC, definitely one of the favorite teams to win this entire tournament. So it will be interesting to see what they have cooking up for us in here.
Yeah, I'm interested, of course. You know, I think the matchup has to be, the matchup to watch has to be bot lane this time around, right? We got Dante, and then we have our Draven that was on for the interview last time around in the bot lane. Our first pick from Braum.
Always definitely a safe pick. Definitely neutralizes a lot of lanes.
Yep,
It's
and I
only
think
really
it's great.
into like enchanters that he sort of struggles, but even then he has so much sustain. He is so tanky that like it doesn't really matter too much. He'll always make it out of lane useful.
I think it's a great pick, especially into Dante, because winning is not an option into Dante. That's not happening, right? You're either breaking even or you're losing. And I think
and
having that
Lucian
brawl,
Nami coming through, one of those classic combos that you see.
Mhm.
Lucian getting those 3 procs of the Nami W off very Nami E off very
Yeah.
easily. Yeah.
not
and
surprised, of course, hard winning lane comp for Dante because, if he has the resources, he will make it work.
Any predictions of how many kills Dante will have by 10 minutes this game?
0.
Zero.
Because the Draven player from last game will shit on his chest. And that's exactly what I'm here to see.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Let's see if your predictions come true.
Similar draft from WDCC for compared to last game, right? They played the Braum and the Ari last game. They played it pretty well. Of course, Ari struggled in lane a little bit, but they did manage to pull through. And a Tristana pick. Tristana Braum into Lucian Nami. Of course, Tristana Braum, great combo because, Tristana likes to stack her E using his auto attacks and also stacks Braum's passive through auto attacks.
Yeah. And then she does have that easy disengage with that W, especially if the bubble does come through. If she times it well, she can get that buffer through, gets the jump even though she is stunned. So a lot of possible disengage here, a lot of engage options as well. It will be quite a volatile bot lane, if I do say so myself. Talia coming through.
Talia, great pick.
Yeah. Makes it a lot easier to match these Ari roams. Her wave clear is really good, especially after she gets faded ashes, if she does go for that build path. It does make it a lot easier for these skirmishes around bot, around top to happen.
And of course, mainly her carpet just being able to stop and deny dashes. That means that Ari, if she's on her carpet, she's not just escaping. Tristana, not just escaping. And very also importantly, if Braum is not already at the front, dashing forward with his E is no longer an option.
And again, an Ornn ban, of course, very standard ban.
Yep.
It stops the timer on the clock.
But also stops WDCC top laner inting with Braum again like last game. And anyways, Camille ban comes from WDCC as well.
And here waiting for the last ban of UOACS. They're probably looking for something top or jungle. Most likely a top pick, especially if they are trying to blind this red side top here.
I'm interested. I honestly expected, this kind of current draft where they go something strong for laning phase.
An Elise ban, so they're trying to slow down this early game. I mean, that is fair. They do have very scary early game champions. A lot of bursts from that Tristana bomb, a lot of bursts from that Braum util as well. Just all the stuns being applied makes it very easy. Elise as well, very good pairing with that Braum, having that auto reset available, getting those 2 stacks on very, very quickly. So it is a very valid ban coming through.
This Talia really, it's denying a lot of common jungle options that would usually be paired with the Ari, right? Like Lee Sin, the Vi with the Ari, I feel like just becomes very much more difficult to play when there's Talia. But I still think, if WDCC is picking something like a Vi, to be able to make sure you can lock down the Lucian, I think those picks will be great.
Wukong is quite a interesting pick here. I do like the Pantheon hover. Xin Zhao as well, of course, very, very strong right now. Always very strong, actually, just with that damage, with that sustainability. And the Pantheon pick does come through, so it does look like they are looking for a very strong early game. A pick comp trying to end this game very fast here.
And I think they have the power to do it. They have the skills to do it. And I think if there is a comp that can, make a very difficult team comp work, very difficult to execute team comp work, it is UOACS, right? Alongside, teams like Tanza, and I think, and alongside teams like ESA as well. These are the teams that truly can run these comps, and I'm excited to see how well the UACs can actually execute this. And a Tahm Kench pick comes.
So it looks like they're trying to peel a lot of people away, especially this Tristana. They're leaning towards the Tristana to hyper carry this game, trying to get that range with those levels. And a Nocturne, very interesting choice here. Like generally, you see Nocturne with someone that can pair with that blind well, that
paranoia. Yeah.
It is quite an interesting angle. I mean, you have the Ari, but then again, your Nocturne Fear does take a while to land. It's hard to guarantee that charm to land a lot of the time. That Tahm Kench, again, your CC, your follow up doesn't come too quickly, and that Braum as well. Like a lot of these lanes do need something for Nocturne to gank off of, but it might just not be there for them.
But of course, the Nocturne does pretty good into a Pantheon, just being able to deny his pretty choreographed, jump and stun with his spell shield.
Yeah.
And Gwen picks come as the last pick from UOACS. That kind of secures a near free laning phase for the Gwen into the Tahm Kench, of course, with that percentage max health. We saw this earlier as well in today's games with the Gwen pick, just so much value into tanks, in the Tanza game where she was doing well in laning phase, but of course, she did begin to struggle once that Cassante did start to scale. So yeah, we'll send you guys off to the pre-draft interview, after draft interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Interclub Esports Championship 2025 interview room. I'm here with
Josh Lee.
And
Jed.
Jed, both presidents of UOACS, the president of today and the founding president himself. Now, looking at the draft, what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a roll from UACS. We're going to destroy WDCC. I have full faith in my guys. It's not even close.
Okay. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting
I'll
words.
fight them too. Nah.
You'll fight them too. That's tough. Now, from the current president of UOACS, what are your thoughts on the draft?
Bro, Dante? That's all I gotta say. Obsessed and Dante. That's like Shaq and Kobe right there. I love WDCC, but UACS is just, bro, we're gonna roll you, bro. Like, don't play. I don't know nothing about league, but I know like Dante's like the GOAT and shit, so yeah.
Damn, we should have gotten some WDCC reps in this room, bro. I can't lie. Now, we've heard the current president's opinion on players to watch out for in this match. What about your thoughts, Josh?
I mean, same, right? You look on the screen, you got you got Alvin Forwongi. That's the GOAT. You got to understand this guy's #1 OCE in the past. He played Direwolves. Like, this guy's good.
That's tough. Ooh.
You got to watch out for that guy.
You got to watch out. Now, back to the commentary room. Oh, and what's your favorite enemy?
Oh, the blue one for sure.
Blue one? What about you?
Red, blood.
Red and blue. Let's go. Thank you.
And
Hey guys, now we're back. Thank you, UOACS presidents. You said Dante and Obsess is like Shaq and Kobe. Well, do you know who's better? LeBron and D Wade, and that's Pachita and Raphael, and they're about to take over this game, baby. So play will resume in 3 seconds, guys. We're about to get into this.
Of course, and like they said, Dante, a big name here in this university, in the league community. Of course, if you guys don't know, former rank 1 OCE, used to play pro as well. And these guys, Dante Obsessed, they have some synergy built up. They've been playing for a long time together. Same thing with Godblitz as a support. These guys know each other pretty well. We might see some crazy coordinated play from them today.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yep. This glazing's got to stop because Rafaela and Pachita are way better players. And we will see that today. We will see that right now. We'll see the true difference in skill and the disparity between the two.
Of course, it will be very interesting to see how this bot lane will play out. It is definitely very winnable. It's a volatile matchup for this Tristana and for this Tristana and Braum in this bot lane. But again, they have easy disengages, but that burst damage does come through. It will be quite scary, especially with this PTA on the side of Dante with that double shot on passive. He does get that proc very easily.
This Nocturne too busy typing in chat when he should be getting his jungle clear ready. Unbelievable. He needs to lock in. He is clearly not focused. This is Dante we're talking about. It's not the team that he was playing earlier. It's not AUEC anymore. It's Dante. He shouldn't be typing. He should have chat off, actually. Of course, Dante and Goblet's already looking for, early trade. The mental diff.
And trade doesn't go too well, especially with that Guardian proc.
Ooh, Raphael, my
He is
God.
moving a little bit crazy here. Definitely looking interesting. Godblitz taking quite a bit of heavy damage in that early game. Pio seems to be pretty even here. I mean, Dante looking to weave in those 2 autos, but they're not giving it to him. He's spacing quite well from Raphael, and they have this priority for this level 2 if they are able to get these 3 minions here.
Of course, Obsessed pathing downwards, and somehow the Nocturne's pathing upwards. I guess he's just trying to spam player.
They are 1 minion off this level 2 here. We'll see if they decide to go in off it, but unfortunately they don't look to be in position.
It's just the mental block, right? You see Dante on your screen and you're shitting yourself,
Yeah.
No matter how advantageous you are, you always just got to double think everything you're doing.
And we see Pantheon pathing bot lane, so they are 100% playing for this Lucian here. I mean, it makes sense. It is Dante. It is a Lucian Nami bot lane. He does need that early lead to play into the game here. Same thing, and with the Gwen as well, like, you don't need to help that lane. Gwen into Tahm Kench is a very, very easy lane to play. You do have, like, he is just a giant sack of meat for you to, like, hit into. Yeah, looking at those 4-stack Qs, just lining that up, lining that center up, it is very, very easy for him to play. It's a huge hitbox to hit. It's very hard to miss.
Especially when you're playing a champion as big as Tahm Kench, right? Nocturne finishing up his clear soon, same as Pantheon. They should be looking to, you know, get a couple ganks in now here. But it might not even matter. Ooh.
Tristana forced the W out of that fight there, but after taking half of her health and damage.
Oh, quick note. It looks like Colder, you know, he's actually written down as a sub, is actually playing in the top lane this game today.
Colder infamously, I believe he is, he was an Aurelia one-trick at some point. Very scary Aurelia to add on to that. But he is on the Gwen this game. We'll see how he fares. And look at that spacing from Dante. He is weaving through that tower range just perfectly there. Rufka in a very, very sketchy position.
It's almost like he was a pro player, you know?
Maybe.
It's just great mechanics from him, you know, and this might be a dive from Obsess, and this dive could mean the end of the game.
Covering. They do have some pings right on that Nocturne there, so he is tracking properly here.
And it's just no mana and Dante for them to look for anything.
Yeah. Nocturne recalling on Vision, doesn't get it through.
And Pantheon clearing back top down, and by the time he's down, the dragon will be up for him to take and for them to look for it. Dante should look for a recall soon to be able to
Nocturne is wasting a lot of his tempo as well, only finishing his back now.
So Dante looks for this recall. Oh, never mind, he's looking for more, probably the plating here. But he doesn't get it, it's just not enough.
Good to note that the bot lane tower doesn't have that pre-5 minute tower plating protection. So it is a lot easier to take on the bot lane, and that's exactly what they're looking for, I believe, with this with the shove in here. They could be looking just a couple autos, get a nice little back for that for Dante here. Don't think he has enough for a Dirk yet though, so it'll be interesting to see what he buys. Nocturne close on the bot side, so it is a little bit scary for him right now. Especially if they do keep staying up like this.
No, the great for Dante here, where he's already gone. It's only 5 minutes in, and he's already, you know, 20 CS up. He's a whole plating up, and 20. It's only been 20 minutes, right? I think we're already seeing like the skill disparity between the two.
Definitely, and he does manage to get the wave in right as he runs out of mana. So,
and of course, with this recall, you know, it's perfectly timed with the dragon,
might
right?
see a little skirmish here in the mid lane as Pantheon looks to invade on the Raptors here, and you see. Decides to stun the Raptors, manages to get all of them with his E.
But the flash comes out
flash
and the
carpet,
flash out
unlucky. Nocturne does have to force pop his flash out, and he does lose the chicken's camp, so it is looking very rough.
But the
right
charm
now.
hits from
Charm
the Ari.
comes
The Zushi Makeout is dead. He's 1 HP, and a big kill for the Nocturne. Why are you stealing that from your ADC?
It is a bit unfortunate that it does go to the Nocturne there, especially after Tristana decides to move. She is sacking one wave to move up there to help. But overall, it is still a great first blood to get. Definitely a mental boost for the team.
You know, greatly played from Pachita and Raphael, right? The DeBron and DeBron, the Wade and LeBron of UOA League of Legends esports scene, right? Everyone knows this. It's a common fact. And we just see their beautiful partnership, right? Their beautiful mechanical skills coming out on the kill on the Talia there. Punishing her for using her flash on the Nocturne and getting greedy.
As Pantheon is pathing back down towards bot, now we might see a dragon fight coming up, or just the give. Yeah, Pantheon does start moving towards the dragon. WDCC does have a pink on it, so they will see this start. But again, their bot lane just is unable to get prio into that Lucian Nami lane. It is so oppressive. The threat of the amount of damage that Lucian can just output in the short burst is very scary to play into.
Of course, 4 people on Dragon. That looks to be a Dragon where you have to give away from WDCC.
Yeah.
Nocturne is looking top. You know, he's looking for something else because he knows that there's 4 bot. He needs to look for some free camps to take from the top side. He needs to look for something so he can at least make up for giving that Dragon away.
Colder, knowing this, decides to respect the TKW in there, even though Nocturne was super far away. She knows that there is a possibility of a Nocturne gank, even a Nocturne ultimate, especially as Pantheon is hitting 6. Nocturne should be hitting 6 soon as well. Yeah, this is a very interesting matchup in the jungle, especially with 2 global ults here. If the communication is there, if you're able to call where the Nocturne ult is, the Pantheon ult should be able to follow quite easily. Nocturne is backing after taking the Krugs here. Pantheon looking to ult top lane.
And the stun hits,
stun
but the Tahm
goes-
Kench W still gets through. Tahm Kench is gonna die. He's taking so much damage. Is it E enough? He flashes. Pantheon flashes after and he confirms the kill on the Tahm Kench. And that is first blood for the UACS. First blood as in they got their first kill. Not the first blood of the game.
And as we keep looking back at this bot lane, it is just a wider and wider gap in CS every single time. I mean, super hard for Tristana to farm and prep the wave properly under tower with the passive, of course exploding a minion on death. But even then, like,
I think that's the true difference, right? It's you don't have to see flashy kills. They will just naturally find their own way
they're
to
just
create
squeezing out. Like, even after that first blood, UACS was still up like 300-400 gold, and now the lead's been expanded 1.5k. It's just slowly going up and up.
This Nocturne can't be at the grubs. This is such a bad position. Weaver's Wall comes out from Talia.
We'll see if the carpet comes through. Waits for the spell shield.
And the knockback
Carpet
hits,
lands.
and the Pantheon confirms the kill. Kill goes over to Talia. That'll be greatly important for Talia's lane against the Ahri.
Yeah, it's just the knowledge of the fact that even though Talia died earlier, she was able to go flash for flash on the Nocturne. They're able to catch him out now. He's able to hold that patience, have that patience for the Nocturne spell shield to expire before throwing her abilities.
But man, the Tahm Kench catching his wave, the Ahri's catching his wave, the Nocturne just can't be there.
Definitely, yeah. Both waves are both of the solo laners are unable to move there, and he's still trying to get vision on the grubs. And again, we'll see
Pantheon
Holder
looking for an
slowly
invade on the top side.
and Talia moving with as well.
Nocturne counting on this wolf, but they are going to get contact on the blue buff. Oh, but looks like the Nocturne has
Things come
located
through.
Pantheon.
Tahm Kench is unable to
It's a
move straight away
3v1.
though. It's 3v1.
You can't be there.
And again, his jungle is just not his. This Nocturne is just homeless, and he doesn't have a choice. He's forced to go down to his bot side, and again, like, it doesn't matter where he goes. He's being tracked so well by the enemy jungle here, and the solo laners have so much prio, they're always able to move. It is just impossible for this Nocturne to play.
That's just the power. I think just the way the drafting order was done, you know, UACS managed to secure counter picks for both solo lanes. You know, that leads to these priors, that leads to this prio in all the solo lanes, which leads to prio in the jungle, and just lets, you know, Obsess be able to make these plays.
And again, look at how hard this bot lane is getting zoned.
Pantheon popping back top. Nocturne is looking for a gank angle here. He is on vision.
Yeah.
They have to go.
Nocturne does have the ultimate, but again, they're too far to commit, and by the time he gets there, like, Rufka and the Storm are in a dangerous range.
Wait, this might be back for Coda.
He does get the spit out under tower. See how many tower shots Coda tanks? Only one.
Gwyn is immune. This is a winning fight for Coda. Ignite comes down from Coda, and chop,
Doesn't
chop,
matter.
chop. Tahm Kench gets chopped. That was 4 chops, by the way.
Alright, bot lane does look for a back here. Dragon is coming up in 120, so they do want to get their buys in before they move down. Nocturne is pathing topside here. Could be looking to finish up that kill on Gwyn, but I don't think he's in range for ult here. Again, Nocturne just a little bit lost on the map. He doesn't have camps to farm because of the way that the solo lanes have been moving. He is just moving around topside with nothing to do. Even looking to maybe catch an invade on the Pantheon's topside camps, but they're all already gone.
Of course, Dragon coming at 40 seconds. Pantheon, of course, pathing down, cycling his camps in the bot side before they look for the Dragon. Ahri clearing the vision on the Dragon Pit. Dante and Goblins looking for small trades, because why not? You know, they know they're better. They know they're better. They know they're stronger. All these trades are just free damage for Dante to help secure the Dragon, if anything, and keep Tristana under the tower in their dive range.
And with that Nami sustain as well, this Lucian doesn't have to worry about taking damage, especially if it's just small bursts like a Brawn Q or maybe a one-stack Tristana
This
charge.
Nocturne and Ahri again, they're looking for a play ball in, but the visions are already set up. This they
Nocturne
won't have
does
enough
come
time.
through. Fair is being held. Nami ult hits 3. Pantheon ult lands, looking for a flash Q onto the Nocturne.
Koshira, he doesn't have enough damage. He's used everything.
Dante manages to get out of that
Obsess
somehow.
in the backline. No stacks on passive. His W gets cancelled
Tristana does get...
by the Buster Shot. The charm hits Dante. Charm hits Obsess. Obsess has 1 HP. The stacks aren't there. Obsess makes it out alive. The reset comes for
Flash
the
comes through,
Raphael.
stun lands on the Tristana.
But there's no stun. The carpet didn't hit. But it doesn't matter. Dante still gets the kill anyways. And now it's looking like an even worse scenario for WDCC's bot lane.
it looked like they had everything lined up. They had the knockdown ult, the fair landed, the charm came through, but it just wasn't enough. The Nami ult peeled just enough for Dante to walk up, get the honey fruit, and come back into the fight. And there, the Braum damage just was not enough to finish off Dante at the end.
And you saw Ari, right? You saw Pachita. He burnt everything. He used 2 charges of his ult, all 3 to try to stay on top of Dante's. And when he actually finally got to Dante's, he had nothing. He had no damage. He used his Q.
Calder here.
And Dante's, Barry kept him alive.
Again, Calder finishing off that top tower, finishing off that Tahm Kench. Snip, snip. Tahm Kench is getting a nice little haircut before before this dragon fight comes up.
If he had much hair to cut anyways, but he does need to cut off that disgusting mustache. In-game, not IRL, people. Now Dragon is being done by this Pantheon, and it looks like this game is slipping out of WDCC's hands even more.
Again. And this just shows the difference. Like, compared to earlier games where there were so many more kills, the kill disparity was so much higher. But even now, at 13 minutes, with only a 4-kill lead, UOACS is 5k, almost 6k gold up on WDCC. These dragons are free, they can't do anything. Their jungle is getting robbed.
Ooh, and now the bot lane looks a little bit overextended. There is no Weaver Wall on
With
Talia,
no
so
tier 1 tower as well. Dante looking to walk back.
Grand
W
Starfall
lands.
is also on cooldown, so they can't just jump on them. That's a
The
big
Nami
Nami
ult.
wave. Fully blocked.
Braum tanks it, but again, it's enough to just give the move speed to Dante, too obsessed to close the gap there.
This gives us another POV on the levels, right? We know there's a bit of a rivalry between UOACS and Tanza, right? They met in the finals last time, and Tanza did win.
Carpet lands, flip lands, everything. They're just grabbing kills left, right, center.
But we can look at it in this sense, right? Tanza played an arguably worse team than WDCC earlier today, and they only managed to get, they lost first blood actually at 12 minutes. And now we see UACS playing against, WDCC, and, it's 14, 15 minutes in, and the game's essentially already over.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 teams to watch, right? Tanza and UACS. And from what I'm seeing today so far, UACS seems miles better than Tanza.
Definitely. It does look like, especially with a lot of these teams being just new teams made for the tournament, they don't have that synergy yet. Something like, I believe all 4 of them, everybody except for Calder has been playing with each other for a couple of years now. So having that synergy built up, having that communication between each player is such a game changer as well. Yeah, I believe you could put 4 challenger players on a team that don't know each other, and they would still have a rough time playing up against UOACS there.
That's not that outrageous of a shout, and yeah, I can't fully agree with you on that one, but it is still, it's still very arguable, and that just shows the levels of the players on this team, right? And it looks like Calder is jumping on Tahm Kench here. It doesn't matter, he's 3 levels down, he can do anything, but there's just too much damage for the Tahm Kench to try to tank. More HP, just more damage and healing for the Gwen, and he does get taken down. And that's 3-0-2, 60 CS lead for Calder.
3 levels down as well, so it's just impossible for him to enter back into this lane now. Herald coming down in the top lane, looking to take that tier 2. Dante taking heavy damage here. Glacial Fissure comes out, and he does die. Shut down towards Nocturne again.
He needs to stop taking these kills.
Tristana is the way out of this game, I believe. Nocturne does have to close that gap, and it is very dangerous for him to be up in there. But again, all these Herald charges, they take... Inhib stays up at least, but...
This is a very dangerous fight. They don't have the damage or the tankiness to ever be here. 2-man bubble from Gauntlet!
Especially with both the ult down on
down.
Nocturne and Braum here, it is just
and that's
a very
nice,
horrible place to be caught out.
Double kill for Calder. I think this game's still winnable for WDCC.
I'm not seeing your vision. So.
No, it's because you're not a believer.
I might not be. I've been a big Dante fan since day one, me and him back in the day. I don't know if he knows who I am, but...
moving on. Great game going on out here, guys. Minute 54 till... minute 50 till Dragon spawns. But my question is, will their Nexus still be alive in a minute and 45 seconds?
Definitely.
This is looking like such a near perfectly played game from UACS, apart from that small incident in the blue side red buff earlier in the game. But ever since then, UACS looks, gapless. Oh, that's a big gap from the blast code.
Collecting up the roses here as well. So many roses in the bot lane just because this is where the Otacon is spawning. There was so much chaos there earlier this game. And again, Dante and Godblitz, they're just walking around. They're free to do what they want. They can do no wrong at this point. They have so much map control here. They're taking away the vision, stopping that Nocturne back. Oh my god, that damage coming through. 3 orders from Dante and half of Nocturne's health is just gone straight away.
Oh,
Flip
wow!
lands, what a beautiful flip
on the
onto the
floor.
carpet there. And this mid tier 2 does look to be gone soon. They have no wave right now, but with the next one, most definitely, they are taking away this tower.
No, again, with the 2 grubs, my theory stays correct. Whoever gets the majority amount of grubs will win the game.
And again, they just don't have an answer for anything. This Gwen is allowed to do what he wants. This Talia is allowed to do what he wants. And this TK is so far behind. This Ari, even though it's not too far behind, just doesn't have that much agency on the side lane to kill. TP comes out into the mid lane here. Talia taking quite a few tower shots though, is quite low now. Despite TP coming through, the wave does go away and they are able to defend this in-hit tower. Dragon coming up in 10 seconds and they are holding infinite control of this bot side jungle. It is dangerous for WDCC to try enter from anywhere right now. As we see UOACS move over to take this drag.
Yep,
Grab that little big rose on the way.
He has any other dragon jets.
Yep. Dante waiting for his E cooldown, of course. Stuck on the other side of the wall.
I still
We
think
are
it's winnable for
19 minutes
WDCC. You know, they have LeBron, they have D-Wade. You know, we might as well call the Nocturne Russell Westbrook. You know, it's... I still think it's winnable. You know, I love WDCC. You know, to be honest, it's not actually winnable, but I think it's winnable because it's WDCC, right? These players are legendary. They're mythical, right?
I mean, we saw the way they were moving in the game before. Maybe they can pull a miracle out of thin air somewhere.
And they will, I believe, right? This Raphael guy, he just has aura, you know, seeping out of his face. That's why they had to ban the Draven out.
It might have just been the Draven ban that did them in this game.
That's what it was. That's all it really was. Dante saw the pressure, you know, he saw the skill on Raphael's Draven, and he knew that if I play into that,
Again,
I am not making
like
it to the next stage.
Swag is getting caught here. Grand Star 4 coming in. Weaver's Wall catching. Doesn't manage to stun the Ari, but it doesn't matter. Cullen comes through, finishes her off. Dante looking for more here, dashing into that Braum. Absolutely no fear in this man. He knows how strong he is. He knows how strong his team is. Flip coming through. Snip on that Braum. And it just looks like this game might be over right now. They have the wave to take these towers. Nocturne ult coming in. It just doesn't matter. So much damage, so much gold on the side of UOACS ahead of WDCC that they can just take in all this damage. It doesn't matter, taking all these abilities, but HP just goes away. A short 20-minute game from UOACS here, as we see total domination from one of the fan favorites to win this tournament. Again, big thank you for WDCC for playing today. They did give us quite an entertaining game 4 before with the Draven pick, but unfortunately this is where their run ends. Definitely Jinhu looking a little bit sad to see that happening, but I'm sure we'll see a lot more exciting matchups, a lot more exciting picks coming out, especially over the semifinals and the finals tomorrow. So a big thank you for WDCC for coming up today, same with UOACS, and also Indomie for sponsoring this, and just like always, all of our players will be walking away with some free noodles. Cool. I believe we will have a short intermission and then maybe Alrighty. Any thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I think that game just showed us the levels of, you know, the top teams and the mid-tier teams in this League of Legends tournament, sponsored by Indomie, right? Yeah, WDCC looked great, right? They played great into AUEC. They were playing amazing. Oh, sorry, VA USA. You know, they're playing good. They look strong, but of course, into the top favorites of the tournament. 18 kills to 4 kills Stomp, right? And out of the 4, I feel like some were even avoidable. It's just something that they just gave away because they knew that those deaths wouldn't matter. And I think that truly shows the levels that we have in this competition.
Definitely. And again, it's just like showing how kills on, like, even before any of the kills happened, even during the early 5 minutes, we could just see UOACS squeezing every last bit out of WDCC, squeezing out that bot lane, making sure they weren't able to hit that CS properly. Same thing in the top lane, that TK was not able to play into that Gwen. Again, just having that counter push. And it does look like we're ready for our losers interview, so I'll pass you off to them now.
Interclub Esports Championship 2025. Welcome back to the interview room. Who am I here with today?
Hi, I'm Tabby, Swag.
Okay, Debbie. Give us your thoughts on the game that you just played.
It was good. I was AFK half the time, but I think it was a good game. It was a good match.
Okay, cool. And personally, do you have any teams you would watch out for the remainder of this tournament?
I would say if I had to pick two, probably UACS, so the one we just burst, and AUSS. They have a really good support.
Definitely. UOACS, probably one of the strongest teams in this tournament, and AUSS just knocking out AUEC's very own league team right before this match. Now, any personal shout-outs you want to give?
Definitely to my jungler for the first game. He was camping my lane, and I really appreciate that. May have missed a few ults, but it's okay.
Okay, cool. And shout out AUEC, of course. Oregon UOC Esports Club, unfortunately eliminated, but it is what it is. One final thing before we go back to the commentary desk. What's your favorite flavor of Indomie?
Ooh. I would have to say, I can't remember the blue one, the barbecue
blue one? The barbecue
It was
chicken?
really good, I can't lie. I've had that since high school.
Okay.
It's my go-to.
Shing, let's get some barbecue chicken. Oh, well, there's none left, so here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for Indomie sponsoring our event, and back to you, commentary desk.
Hello, big man himself. Of course. Are you ready for this interview? All right, we're here with. Do you want to put the headset on? Yeah. Alrighty. I mean, decisive victory here. Not a very close game at all.
Come on now.
30 CS lead at like 10 minutes or something. Ooh, looking bullying. I mean,
Lushanami.
Yeah. What were your thoughts
lane.
going into that game? Did you anything you were scared about?
Scared about? Not really.
Not
To be
really.
honest.
Of course.
I mean, they're like gold, right? I feel bad.
So like why the Draven ban then? Maybe you should have
The
just like
Draven
let it
ban?
slide through.
Honestly, it was all George.
It was all George.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I wanted to see a nice little Draven game in the bot lane.
Honestly,
I think
I would have been down.
I think Jinhu was excited for it as well. And
I
we
did
saw
say I
that
was
straight
gonna
away.
like do some things to myself if I were gonna if I were to lose this game.
Yeah.
So I had to.
You
I
had-
had to
you had
make
to
sure
lock
I
in?
won.
You
You
had
know
to
what I'm
lock in?
saying? I have to win it for UACS. UACS is winning this whole thing.
What about So what about the upcoming game? I believe most likely against ESA probably.
ESA.
So any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that's like ESA, Tanza, and then us. That's like the three big dogs in the tournament. Yeah, it'll be a fun game.
It'll be a fun game.
Good friend Laws in that team.
Mhm.
Ex-pro, I've
Ex-pro,
heard.
I know. I mean, you have an X-Pro right here of your own.
Can I say? Yeah.
Former
Nah,
rank
it'll be
1
fun. It'll be
OCE.
fun.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
I think he played pro for like a few weeks. I don't know if he was like established in the scene.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
definitely played in like amateur at least. But yeah, it'll be a fun game.
And anything you want to say about UOACS? Any
UOACS.
promotions that you want to throw out?
Come
right
to
there?
cocktail night this week, Wednesday.
Mhm.
It's $15 for food and 2 drinks.
And before you, I
Cheeky
think we asked
promo.
you earlier today, but what's your favorite Indomie flavor?
Favorite enemy? This one right
This
here.
one right here, the red.
The red one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, very
It's
good
just
choice.
superior to the blue.
I like that. What about the pink? What about the hot and spicy?
The pink one?
Have you ever
Wait,
had?
I don't
or-
think I've tried that.
Ooh, might have to try now.
Right now?
Right now? Do you know?
I'm
Maybe
pretty
not right
sure-
now.
yeah,
but
not right now.
Yeah, one day in the future.
One day,
All
one
right.
day.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to your games.
Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir. Clean games.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.